Really. So like I don't know what's going on.
Frickety frack.
Watch your profanity.
Wow. Howdy, folks.
Last night I came in just at the right time for EJ's stream. He said, well, watch your profanity to someone. And I'm like, frickety frack.
Okay. I don't remember this. Anyway, howdy folks, EJ here. I don't know what we're doing or if it's all set up properly. Hopefully it's good. If not, let me know. Anyway, welcome to another Dungeons and Dragons stream. Today we got King Ray, Shroomy, and Mac with us again. Izzy, Hawk, Jack, and... No, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Are all busy and off doing other things that I don't know where they are. So I guess they're not going to be here today. They might pop in at some point and surprise me. I don't know. Anyway, so are you guys ready to play, or do you want to talk a little bit more, or what?
I'm ready to have a chair that doesn't lean back so much all the time.
But can you do this?
But can you do crash?
Okay. Let's think for a second. Alright, I guess we should do a quick recap of what happened last time. So last time,
smoke coming out of his head?
There's smoke coming out of my head?
Yeah, because you were thinking.
Oh. Dang it, Ray.
I don't use my brain that often. There's some dust that needs to burn off. Oh. Jack is coming. He says he'll be here in like 7 to 8 minutes, so that's cool. So I guess we can do a quick little...
Fine. He's a turtle. He's slower than the rest of us.
Yeah! Actually, the first session where he was introduced, he got challenged to a race by Stu, and Stu and him just like raced across the city, and the turtle was like way faster than him, and like was screaming the entire time as he ran through the town. It was great.
Oh, bye, Ray.
So, I'm not sure what Ray's doing. In our last session, we had King Ray, Shroomy, and Hawk all try to sneak into the orc headquarters, or like, not headquarters, into the enemy lines where the orcs were, and attempt to steal some supplies, weapons, and food from them, and take it back to the humans who were undergeared and not ready for battle. They managed to get a good deal of supplies and bring it back, pretty much as they could carry, which was pretty great. Then, unfortunately, they were spotted at the last second, but that didn't seem to be too much of a big deal, and they made it back successfully. Meanwhile, Mac and Izzy had been helping with the injured and sick, and bringing them to a safer place where that was not flooded by the rain. The rain eventually stopped, and the ground was starting to dry up, while you guys were having a nice campfire, meeting each other and getting to talk a little bit more. So if you'd like to talk just a little bit more, introduce yourselves, because technically Ray doesn't know you two, and you two don't know Ray that well, so if you'd like to talk just a little bit more, get to know each other, that's fine. If not, we can just skip over it. So everyone's just at a campfire, kind of getting ready for bed. Sugar's just...
I wonder if there's anything of import around here.
Oh boy.
So what got you into the line of thieving?
Oh, you know, I was just born into it. I want everything everyone has.
Hashtag I want that.
That's my line.
And like I said, Mac and Shroomy have known each other for a few months, so you're probably familiar with each other, but if you want to talk a little bit more, that's fine too.
Shroomy, what's your character name again?
Dravis.
Dravis. And what's Max?
Guy Dude.
Guy Dude. Right, okay. Yeah. And how about you, Guy Dude? When did you get to be a paladin?
After many years of fighting for my local warlord, I decided that I'd had enough of fighting for other people and I needed to fight for something bigger than other people. So I became a paladin.
It sounds like a noble reason. But normally a paladin should fight for other people, should they not?
Yes, but not for other people's gain, but for helping them.
I totally agree.
Meanwhile, Izzy's just like chomping on plates in the background at the campfire. Well, I'm assuming that... Hey, Ghost Louise, you're welcome to the stream. I'm assuming that Jack will join us in a little bit. So we can just go ahead and say, after a bit of talking, you all decide to head for bed in the empty tents that you had been pointed to. So
I got the pillow ready.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do before you head to bed, or do you want to just conk out? I want that. Dreaming of stealing things in your sleep. Why am I using 2 cameras? Because OBS is stupid and it takes full control of one camera, so I have to have a second camera if I want to actually be able to like have them see me. So doing hand gestures is helpful when dungeon mastering. Sorry, I'm dying.
Alright, so I just sleep in my tent.
Mm-hmm. So,
like, really heavy like before.
Alright.
Loud enough that you can see the tent shaking a little bit.
Just like the entire tent goes.
Exactly!
Alright, and you're sleeping with Banana, I assume? Or Izzy's character?
I might not want that because she might
sleeping with, but
eat the thing.
Yeah, she's gonna eat the tent if I sleep in the same room as Banana.
Okay, so yeah, you guys choose different tents, I suppose.
Yep.
And everyone takes a sleep for the night. I kind of want to wait until Jack gets here before I start the actual next part that was that I have planned. So, is there anything else we can do to procrastinate? Just a tad. What do you dream about? How about
Stop him!
What do I dream about? Nothing that I remember in the morning.
Alright.
I'm not a lucid dreamer.
How about you, Mac? Got any fun dreams?
No, I don't think so.
Do I get some hit points back since I'm
yes. Take this as a short rest. So if anyone is injured, I think you're the only one who's injured at this point, Ray.
Yes, I am.
So go ahead and roll one hit die, I believe it is. Is that what you do in a short rest? I forgot.
I forgot too.
Here, let me Google it. Or you can do it as well.
I don't even know what the paladin's hit die is anymore.
It's not.
It doesn't show on this sheet.
Is it based on class?
Yeah, it is.
Let me see. Short rest. Blah blah. Character can spend.
We had character sheets.
For each hit player rolls. Okay, so you roll your hit die and you add the Constitution modifier to it.
Okay, so what's my hit die?
Well,
my Constitution modifier is +4, and I'm only missing 2 health, so I might as well just add that.
Yeah, you'll just be healed up to full. Just pretend it's just up to full.
There we go.
Very nice.
Looking good to me.
Okay, and still waiting on Jack. How long ago was it that he said he'd be here in 7 to 8 minutes?
About 5 minutes.
7 to 8 minutes ago.
All right.
Yeah, actually, it was 7 minutes ago. Exactly.
All right. Well, we can just catch him up as soon as he gets here because it's supposed to be jarring anyway. I suppose, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So you guys are all just sleeping peacefully. Everything's fine. Everyone, roll me a perception check.
I don't think Shrooby's dreaming peacefully with me being so loud.
Someone stop that man!
Just like, I want that. Take his voice box. Alright, so everyone roll me a perception check.
I'd like to steal his oxygen.
Perception while we're asleep?
You'll see why.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Oh!
Hard dice hate me.
Hey, it's because you put them in a little box. They don't want to be contained.
I am
21.
apparently blind.
Nice, right?
It'd be 11.
11. Okay, cool. 3 very different levels of detail.
I should get disadvantage since I'm deep asleep. I'm a heavy sleeper.
Sure, if you'd like to have disadvantage, that works.
Yes, I want disadvantage.
Alright, and I just rolled for...
Apparently my disadvantage doesn't work anyways!
What'd you get?
21.
Oh, same
I
number?
got 23 on my second one.
Wow, okay. Alright, so I rolled for Glumporio, and he has about the same level of awareness as you guys. Or as Shermie. So,
Well,
let me think how I'm gonna do this. So Shermie, you're sleeping peacefully like a baby. You hear nothing, you see nothing, you're just asleep. Okay, you're asleep, but just kind of like not very rested sleep because Ray is annoying you. Meanwhile, Mac, you suddenly awake to the sound of "Get the archers ready! We need to form a defensive line!" And there's like clashing and noises, and you open your eyes and you see like the flashing of campfires all around your tent, and it's just like shadows dancing everywhere, and you're just like, whoa, what the heck? And you're like very disoriented. Meanwhile, Ray wakes up and he immediately hears the barking commands of Kisto the Earthshaker, the general, who's barking orders to a bunch of men, trying to organize them into a defensive line, yelling for them to get weapons and that kind of thing. You hear the clashing of shields and stuff, and you feel the ground rumbling. Not necessarily like the rumbling that you're used to of like the very earth shaking below you, but this is the rumble of something different. This is the feet of many stampeding soldiers in a battle. You're well aware of this because you've been in battle many times before, so you know what this is, and you're like, oh, something's going down.
I quickly get out of bed, put my armor on, and I take my sword and I run out my tent like, I'm ready!
As you're doing this, you hear a ram's horn blast from the top of the watchtower, and you hear the battle cry of the orc army rushing in. It's still like 3 a.m. right now, so it is not light. It is completely dark outside, and it's just a battle of like chaos. There's weapons clashing already. You can hear many people shouting, and the humans are like kind of desperately crawling out of bed and like trying to gather themselves, rubbing their eyes, and like getting shields and swords ready. Shermie and Mac, what would you like to do? Shermie, roll me another perception check, just see if you... Actually, no, you failed. You crit failed. You're still asleep. You're just stuck there. Mac, what would you like to do?
I would grab my stuff and get out, ready to fight.
Alright, you woke up kind of like abruptly and you're disoriented, so you kind of like stumble out of the tent, like maybe you got one pant leg on and you're just like, oh, what's going on? Well, I'm here, guys. What's up?
What I want to do is, as he's walking out the tent, I want him to see me running towards the enemies, yelling, "Yeet!"
Okay. Both of you roll me perception now that you're outside.
Okay.
Or outside your
when
tent.
I want bad perception, I don't get bad perception. I rolled a 9.
A 9. Okay.
13.
13. Alright, so you both see, you see the lights of many dim campfires that are kind of going out, shining on the human camp. You see many of the tents are on fire though, so that's causing some more light. There are flaming arrows flying through the air above your head and kind of landing thud all around the camp. And you, out of the corner of your eye, you, Ray, happen to see that the general's tent has like half of the wall kind of just like there's a hole in it, and it looks like it's been like chomped on, like teeth marks in it, and then there's just like a small pile of vomit beside it, as though someone had tried to eat it and then thrown up. You probably know who that was. Anyway, but they failed their con save, so that's it. Oh, by the way, Ray, I need you to make a con save too.
Oh, great. Okay. Boop. 18.
18. Wow, nice. Okay. And I need you to make one too, both Dravis and Guy Dude.
Ow. 8.
8. Oof.
What are we rolling for?
This is a Constitution save. So it's not just your Constitution modifier, it's like your Constitution save modifier. Slightly different.
7.
7?
Jeez, you're not having any luck, True.
This thing hates me.
Alright. That's just something I need to know for now. But it doesn't affect you guys in the moment. Good stuff, though. Alright, so... let me continue describing what you were saying. You also see, like, in the distance, like, through the darkness, you can see a person coming in my room. Hello.
Yeah, I see a person coming in
From your great friend Barbara.
Oh, thanks. I will not eat it right now, but thank you. I have been gifted with food.
DM
I
has
want
been
that.
gifted.
Shroom wants the food. Alright, so you guys see in the distance like the shine of like weapons, armor, and metal swords like charging towards you, like a defensive line, or like offensive line charging towards the camp, maybe about 200 feet away, just kind of coming towards like the meeker defenses and the like spiked sticks that they got the humans have facing towards the Ark camp. And you can very clearly tell that there's like an army approaching. You just can't see very much detail about it. What would you guys, or I guess Ray, you wanted to just charge?
Yeah, I'm just charging. But since I noticed something's wrong with the tent, I want to go over there and see if the Earthshaker guy is still around.
Well, you heard the Earthshaker general like running around shouting orders to the men and like getting them into shape and like tossing weapons to people, so you know he's around. He's not like dead or anything.
Can I find out where he is?
Roll me another perception check. See if you can see where he is.
My perception. I keep on, I have to check here. 12.
Alright, you can't tell exactly where he is, but you hear his voice going, "Oh, blah, 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 blah," and like tell him.
I'd like to go towards
He's
his
turned
voice.
into a Sith.
I'd like to go towards his voice.
Alright,
See if I can find him.
you think he's on the other side of this like pile of rocks kind of thing, that lame excuse for a watchtower. So you can go to the other side.
I'd like
of
to
that.
climb up the watchtower to see where he is. I'll have a better view up there, won't I?
Yeah. However, it would be a bit annoying to climb this when there's a army of orcs approaching. But yeah, you can do that if you'd like.
I'd like to take on the orcs.
So do you want to climb the tower, or do you want to go for the orcs, or do you
Climb
want to
the
just
tower.
run around? Okay.
Climb the tower.
All right. Roll me athletics.
Athletics. Holy cow! I did not know I had a +6 in athletics. 18.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you just kind of like clamber up the tower, or the tower as in pile of rocks basically, and you you look around and you can see that Kisto the Earthshaker is standing with about 30 or 40 men that are armed, not in very well clothes, like they're still in their night clothes, but they just have armor kind of like slapped on over top of that, and they're like ready to rush into battle, and he's like leading them and about to charge.
All right. Do I have a bow and arrow? Do I have a bow and arrow? I do not. I have a spear, though.
I do, but I'm asleep.
Okay.
So while this is happening, I'm gonna say it. Let me see here.
Go ahead and
roll me.
have them.
What's your armor class, Shroomy?
Armor class is 16.
All right.
Oh, not bad.
Okay, so an arrow flies and like cuts through the top of your tent and like stabs into the ground right beside you, and it wakes you up, and you're like, "Whoa, hey, what?"
No.
That was
Nope. Nope. Got a blast.
So you're awake now. What would you like to
I would like to join Jeb Jebby.
do? You don't know where he is, but you can go out of the tent if you'd like.
I'd like to look around for Jeb Jebby.
You're still in the tent. Would you like to go
I'd like
outside
to grab
first?
the tent.
Okay. So you grab your stuff and head out of the tent and take a look out outside, and you can see Jeb Jebby standing on the top of the pile of rocks going, "Yeah, we're gonna destroy everything!"
It's yeet time!
Alright. Okay, that's a problem.
Oh, we love problems.
Hang on just a second.
How many rolls are you doing?
All right. So
Yikes.
as you're like standing up there, like in glory, ready for the battle, remember how there's arrows raining through the air? So 13 arrows fly right beside you, Ray. One of them hits you.
Beside me. Oh, one of them.
One of them hits you in the leg. I think.
Do you know what my armor class is?
I think so. Say it to me again, just to make sure I didn't make a mistake.
18.
Yeah, it still hits you.
Oh.
One of the arrows hits.
Okay, how
But
much
another-
damage do I take?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Sorry, I didn't have that one ready. Let me just make sure.
I managed to dodge 12 of the 13 arrows. That's pretty good still.
Well, no, they just missed. You didn't really dodge. They just kind of missed. It's dark. It's.
Okay,
You know-
So I
fine.
feel I should mention real quickly that Jack is probably not going to join us.
Oh, isn't he? He's not.
Nah, change of plans, he says. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, cool. All right, so that is. Ooh, okay, good. You only got 4 damage, or piercing damage.
Okay.
So that it kind of like stabs you in maybe like the calf or something, and you're just like, ah, why? But otherwise, you
Oh,
are.
why did you make your whereabouts known?
What would you like to do, guy dude?
I'd try to find the nearest commander to find out what they want me to do.
Okay.
That's what I would try to do.
Roll me perception. See if you can see anything
But we'll see.
and or hear anything.
4.
Oh,
Very
yeah, you
nice
have no idea where the nearest
not
commander
really
is.
Chaos
or anything.
going on.
We are not right
Also,
today.
the orcs are now probably like 100 feet away. They're just still charging. So like,
Okay.
what you do quickly. And the humans are like all kind of forming a defensive line. I'm pretty sure the reinforcements got here yesterday. I forgot. Did they arrive yesterday? Just making sure. I'm pretty sure they did, right?
You didn't say anything to us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure I said something about it too. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Either way, the reinforcements from yesterday are here as well, and they. Maybe I didn't say they were here. I don't remember. Well, let's just say that they're here. Maybe I made a mistake, but shush. So the humans are forming defensive lines as well, and they're like scrambling together at the last possible second, trying to like form a wall of shields and get ready for the oncoming strike. So they're like kind of forming a line, just like in line with the watchtower, tower, as in just literally a bunch of rocks. But
Some rocks.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about the situation. So they're forming a wall between, or like between the orcs and you two, Dravis and Guy Dude, and it's like in line with you, Ray.
Okay, well, I try to get out of sight for a second so I could remove the arrow from my leg.
Okay. Yeah. So you can get down behind like the rocks, so you got like your backs to the rocks, and
Yeah.
Would you like
I'll
to
put my
roll
back to the
medicine,
rock.
or roll medicine or survival if you have proficiency in one of those two?
Let me see here. Oh, I have proficiency in medicine. Ooh.
Okay.
I made a 18.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you kind of like take the arrow out of your kneecap or your.
I thought it was in my cap!
Yeah, I know. I was just making a Skyrim reference. So you yank out the arrow and you're like, ah! And do you have any cloth or anything to bandage it with? You only have mere seconds before the battle begins, though. So if you're gonna do something, do it quickly.
Let me see if I have one. 1 second.
Hey, Grayson Bean, welcome to the stream. How's it going? The battle has begun.
I have my common clothes that I can rip up.
I mean, sure, if you want to rip off a strip of clothes.
Yeah, I'm going to use that.
Alright, sure. Yeah, just, let's just assume you're gonna go and tie it real quick and then, like, get up and charge into battle really quick.
I want to take my spear out as I get up.
Sounds good. Alright, what you gonna do? Any of you?
Don't we need to
Go
roll
ahead.
initiative now?
What'd you say, Mac?
Sorry.
Okay, I'll go. I was saying I will go and join the line in front of me.
Okay, cool. So you get yourself ready and like join the army. Do you have a shield or anything? If you'd like to
don't.
grab any weapons, there are some extra weapons kind of like lying around and being tossed around. So you can grab one of those.
I'll just grab my my halberd that I have.
What's a halberd? Is that a sword or a shield?
A halberd is a pole axe.
Pole axe, yeah.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. Cool.
It has a spear tip with an axe head on it.
Okay, cool.
More
So
or
yeah,
less.
you kind of position yourself like between the shields of the humans beside you, so you're like kind of poking out, ready to intercept the orcs that arrive. And now, everyone roll initiative.
Can I do one thing?
What would you like to do,
You
Shroom?
got to allow Shroomy to do something.
I'd like to look around and see if there's any vantage points besides already given away power.
Any vantage points? There are some like. Yeah, there is like a small stone wall to the right of the watchtower. So there's like the watchtower, basically a pile of rocks, and there's like more kind of piles of rocks that are like forming a weak stone wall. It's not like mortar or like any sort of concrete between the cracks of the wall. It's just basically a pile of rocks that like goes along. But yeah, that kind of serves as a wall if you'd like to go behind that.
On second thought, I think I'd like to stand behind the wall of warriors.
Okie doke.
Okay, my initiative 17.
Okie doke. Roll me initiative, everyone else as well. So Jack's not joining us.
4.
No. Initiative. Where is? Oh. So that is
Usually it's
21.
+2. Wow. Shroomy got good initiative that time.
22, you said?
21.
Oh, 21. Sorry, I had to.
If it was 22, he would have had a nat 20.
Alright, let me just pull out a new piece of paper so I can keep track of all this nonsense. This is gonna be rough.
He said he was ready before the stream.
I am ready, I just needed a piece of paper. So your initiative is 22, Dravis. What's yours, Mac?
Mine's 21, by the way.
Oh, yours is 21. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Sorry.
What was yours, Ray?
17.
Okay, and you, guy dude?
4.
Okay.
Well.
That's nice.
Real bad.
Alright. Why does my camera keep dying like every 20 seconds? It's very consistent every 20 seconds. Oh, that guy crit failed. That's fun. Okay. So the orcs clash. They finally rush into the human line, and with a great smash, like they hit the wall of shields and like begin to battle the humans. The humans are like smacking the orcs and splicing at them. There's a great battle cry, and all the while, Jebby, you're feeling, or you're keeping in mind that the ground is not rumbling. The ground is perfectly still and eerily quiet. Meanwhile, there's this huge battle going on, which is like incredibly odd for everyone who's ever been in a battle before and knows anything about the island. It wouldn't be that weird for you, Dravis and Guy Dude, because you don't really know this island that well. But for Jebby, a resident of the island, the ground usually shakes when this kind of thing happens, like battles and that kind of thing. So he's confused. So the first thing that happens is why is my camera dying like every 5 seconds?
Mike's cutting in and out too a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna unplug this camera. It does not deserve to live anymore. Oh, great. Now I can't. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Monkey.
Thanks.
It's a monkey.
Okay. What I'm
Binga
gonna...
binga bunga monkey.
Is there any way I can...
Okay.
That's from a song. It's a binga binga bunga. Sorry. Bunga. I'm so happy for the jungle.
What is happening?
a really old song. Okay.
EJ, you okay?
No.
Is he ever okay?
No.
I mean, your mic is better now. I just turned you up a little.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen just so you can see something else that I'm going to show later. Just ignore it for now. Sorry about that. Alright.
Okay.
So, yeah, the first thing that happens is a bunch of orcs, like, they slam into the human line and manage to, like, break it open. Humans are, like, holding their shields and they just kind of, like, get pushed backward. And the wall of shields gets broken to your right, all of your right. It's, like, on the far right side of this. And several orcs pour through and begin slashing at the humans. Several humans go down, like, almost immediately. They get, like, just knocked over by their shields being kind of knocked over on top of them. And orcs, like, stab their short swords into the faces of these humans. Meanwhile, orcs in the background, like the back lines of this battle, are still shooting arrows, just kind of raining into the battlefield, into the far back lines. They're not shooting at the front lines because they don't want to hit their own dudes, but they're shooting just into the general human camp area. Meanwhile, the orcs that are to the left are being pushed back, like the wall of shields has held as the orcs slammed into it, and the ones being led by Kisto, the like 30 or 40 squad on that side, or to your left, are managing to push back the orcs and start to push ahead, so the line of shields begins to advance forward just a little bit on the left. And now we get to you guys. You guys are fighting. I'm just gonna break it down into like little squads-ish. So the Kisto people are over on the left fighting with like 40 people versus maybe about 50 orcs or so. To your right, there's more battles going on with humans fighting other people. You guys are in your own little, not isolated area because it's all just kind of one big battle, but I'm just breaking it down so it's simpler for us to deal with. So you've got people basically to either side of you, Dravis and Guy Dude, because you're kind of like in the line of soldiers. Jebby, you were on top of the rock still, right? Like on top of the tower.
Yeah, but I'm hiding behind the rocks still.
All right, so you're not fighting anyone yet. You're just kind of there,
Not yet.
and you can pop out whenever you'd like. The orcs are trying to slice at you, or like they're trying to break through the wall of shields. They haven't managed to get through yet, but they're within about 10 or 20 feet of you both, Guy Dude and Dravis.
Well, Dravis has the highest roll, so...
Yeah, so, Dravis, you are first. What would you like to do?
Can I go invisible by any chance?
You can try to stealth, yeah.
Okay.
And I'd say you have advantage because, like, there's people and darkness all around, so it's just an insane mess.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to roll for stealth?
Yeah. But where are you trying to go? Like, are you just trying to hide in plain sight?
Yeah, I want to hide and like assess like what's happening. Get ready to charge into.
So you're trying to like hide amongst the people or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. All right. I'll get rid of advantage then. Just roll me stealth. See what happens.
Okay. That's 9 plus 7. That's 16.
16. Yeah, most of them aren't really paying attention to you. They're still trying to get through the wall of shields. It doesn't really matter. They wouldn't have done anything differently even if they had seen you. So yeah, they're just doing their thing and they don't really care.
Excellent.
All right. All right, Jebby, what would you like to do?
Jebby would like to stumble his way to Dravis. Can he do that?
Stumble his way to Dravis. Yeah. You actually, no. You're gonna have to roll a perception roll to see if you can find him first, because he's stealthing.
20.
Not 20?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Yeah, okay. You manage to see what you think is Dravis, and you look down in the battle.
Alright.
So yeah, you can walk down, or like leave your post on top of the
I'm
rock.
going to stumble down because I've got a wounded calf.
Mm-hmm.
And I call out to Dravis. Dravis, Is that you, Travis?
Shh, yes, it's me.
Do you happen to have any bandages, Travis?
Oh, check.
Weapons clashing in the background. What'd you say, Travis?
So let me check if I have bandages.
Okay.
Actually, I've got lay on hands. Can that be used
Is that a spell?
on me? Yeah, it's a paladin feature.
You're a paladin too? Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
Oh,
If that's
that's what that means.
Ah.
I don't have
Lay on hands says you have a pool of healing power that can restore 5 HP per long rest. As an action, you can touch a creature to restore any number of HP remaining in the pool, or 5 HP to either cure a disease or neutralize a poison effect on a creature.
Okay. Neutralize a poison effect. Interesting.
So, can I touch myself with that to restore my missing health?
I would say yeah. I would allow that. Is that a cantrip or something, or is that just like a paladin
It's a
thing?
paladin feature.
Thing,
Okay,
apparently.
cool. Yeah.
I still ask Dravius anyways if he has any bandages or anything.
I'm sorry, but I don't.
Well, that's fine. I need to heal myself before I go out there. Otherwise, I'll bring everyone down. But watch out, Dravis. If you look on the right side, our defenses are failing. Tell him as I'm pointing to the right side. And I'd like to use lay on hands to heal 3 points of health.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right. So I get 3 points of health.
I thought you got damaged for 4 damage, didn't you? Or was it only 3?
You damaged me for 4, but I only want to heal for 3 because
okay.
I want to keep the last 2 for someone else.
Gotcha, okay. Oh yeah, you can choose. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So you got a pool of 5 hit points you can pull from.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. In my turn. That's all I can do.
All right. So as you're walking over there, 3 humans. Wait, no. How many humans? 1 human attempts to like use his short sword and like swipe at the orcs. It's one of the orcs' own short swords. One of the ones that you guys captured earlier. He rolls and attempts to stab one of the orcs over the shield wall, and he misses entirely. Just horrible miss. He's like, and he basically just knocks his own elbow on the shield wall and doesn't manage to succeed. Meanwhile, an orc on the other side tries to body slam the wall of shields, and he crit fails. So he like tries to bang the wall of shields down, just like pure strength, and instead the human's just like, get out of here, mate, and just kind of knocks him over, and he just like falls on his butt and like loses his weapon. Like he drops it in the dirt, or actually it's still kind of muddy at this point. Not very muddy, but it's still muddy. After that, whose turn is it? Other orc. Other orc attempts to body slam the wall again. He also fails. Never mind, he doesn't fail. he barely manages to kind of like push his way through. So he basically is like just pushing against the human who's holding the shield, and the human gets pushed backward. He doesn't fall down, he doesn't lose his grip on the shield, he just gets pushed backwards about 5 feet. So there's like a 1-person wide hole in the wall of shields now, and this orc is managing to just push his way through with a weapon in one hand and his other hand, and just like pushing on the shield. Let me see. Orc number 8 just tries to slice at one of the heads of the humans over top of the wall of shields. And let me see if he succeeds. Oh, he misses. The guard manages to duck below his shield, and the sword like whizzes overhead and slams into the shield of the person next to him, causing no damage. Just kind of throwing that orc off balance a little bit. One of the other humans tries to slice over the wall again. and doesn't manage to hit either. It's kind of a standstill deadlock between everyone who's like slicing on either side of the shields, just kind of like poking and weaving and not really accomplishing very much. And now it's your turn, Guy Dude. What do you want to do?
Probably try to because I'm in the shield wall, so I'll try to hit the orcs with my halberd.
All right.
Exactly how this works, but
All right. Since you have a ranged weapon that's like going through the middle of the shields, I'll say that you don't have disadvantage or anything. You're able to just easily go ahead and do that. So yeah, roll me an attack roll. Do you know how those work yet?
I'm looking
is
at
that
the halberd attack roll right now.
is it a 10? No, I don't know how these work at all.
Okay.
I have a lot of numbers, and they don't quite add up to me, so I don't quite get how they work.
All right, let me take a look at the app. So if you're looking at your app on the main page, just because we're using an app, people who are watching, on the main page it shows you like your health, your initiative, and speed and all that.
Yeah, I found the weapons page. I just don't know what these numbers mean.
Gotcha. Okay, so if you look at your, say you have whatever your weapon is, what are your weapons that you have? Your halberd. Yeah, so just look below.
Longboard,
Yeah, so just
5 javelins.
look below the halberd one, and it should say like below the word halberd, and it should be in a little red box to the left, like a plus something. What is that plus number?
7.
Okay, cool. So what that represents is it is your proficiency with that weapon plus your strength modifier.
That's my strength thing.
Plus whatever you roll. So basically what you do when you want to make an attack roll is you roll a d20 and then you add whatever your like proficiency kind of bonus is with that weapon. So for this particular weapon it's a +7 because you're adding your strength with stabbing and your proficiency with that weapon. So it's a +2 and a +5, which is a +7 total. So that's roll me a d20 and see if you can do that, or like, and then you add 7 to it.
Hold on, 12.
12 total?
Is that your +7?
Yeah, 12 total.
Alright, you attempt to stab through this wall of shields and hit one of the orcs, but you do not manage to stab him. It kind of like chinks off of his armor and instead like grazes one of the other orcs behind him, and that orc takes only 1 damage. It just kind of like vaguely tinks him a little bit, and he's like, "Hey, roar!
Yeah, hey, roar!
Hey, roar! Stop it!
Stop it!"
Yes, very rude. Alright, then there's some more clashing in weapons, smashing against each other. The human who had been pushed back by the orc attempts to push back and knock that orc back into his line. He fails miserably.
Oh boy.
No, never mind. He does not fail miserably. Every time, so the past 2 times where I said something happens and then I'm like, oh wait, no it didn't, is because I was like rolling their strength and I was like, okay, there's no way that that they could fail, like the other person could fail, because I'm like checking one person's strength and then checking the other person's strength, and I'm like, oh wow, this first person rolled like a 3, there's no way they could lose to that, and then the other one rolls a 2, and I'm like, what? So
too soon.
so this human, in response to this orc managing to push his way through the line, this human just like raises the shield and like bashes this orc in the head and just knocks him unconscious immediately. This orc just crumples to the ground after being hit in the head by this metal shield, and he's out of the fight.
Nice.
Alright, it's your turn again, Dravis. What you gonna do?
Alright, I'd like to sneak over and try to take out some, or at least one of the on the right side.
On the right side? Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough. You're gonna have to make me another stealth roll.
You can do it, Travis. Jebby believes in you.
That's a total of 20.
Total of 20, okay. Let me roll. Ooh, well, that's good for you. Okay. Alright. So you're kind of like leaving your zone that I was telling you about, like I was kind of splitting the battle into like different zones of people that were fighting. You're going into like a different group of them rather than the one that everyone else is currently fighting, so I'm doing some other stuff. But yeah, apparently they're all very blind. None of these orcs notice you as you like kind of flank your way around to the right, and you like kind of get yourself like flanked around. So you're kind of behind them a little bit. Not really, because you're just like... Yeah, let's just say you're not seen and you're kind of near the orcs on the right side who are like managing to push back the humans that they're with. Meanwhile, over on the left, Kisto and his men are doing pretty well. They're like kicking butt, smacking orcs in the face, and they have a couple archers in the back that are beginning to shoot arrows at the orcs who are going "Arr, arr," and like trying to block with their shields as well. Jebby, it is your turn.
I would like to look for Guy Dude.
Okay.
I'm trying to direct things over here since I don't see any commanders.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. Yeah, you managed to see Jebby in the line.
Jebby? You mean Guy Dude?
Guy Dude, sorry. The names are too confusing, okay?
You walk up to a mirror.
Look for the giant lizard man. It's not that hard to find me.
That's true, considering they're all humans.
They're all humans. I kind of stand out a little bit.
Is Guy Dude hurt any?
No.
No?
Yeah, Guy Dude's fine.
Right. So I go to Guy Dude and I ask him, are you capable of keeping the middle? I'll go help out on the left side if you can.
Sure.
All right. Does that take up all my movement to go to him?
Yes, it does take up most of your movement.
So I end my turn then.
Okay. Well, you can move 5 more feet to the left.
Okay, so I move 5 more feet to the left and then in my turn.
Okay. Great, so you're just making it more complicated. It's now pointless for me to have split them up into zones. Because now you're literally like, oh, we don't want to be in our zone. We want to spread out and be in every zone. So now...
We have one person in every zone now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm trying to help out on the left.
I mean, the left side...
Sorry, I meant right. I meant right.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you moved left for no reason.
Yep, I moved left for no. What happens is I tell him I'm going to the right, and I start heading left.
And he's like, "What are you doing?"
Okay. Strange.
Then Jebby like kind of holds up both hands and goes, "Wait, left is left hand. This hand makes an L." All right, so now the orcs are getting another turn. One orc tries to, he has a crossbow, so he pulls that out because he can't manage to like swing his sword over the wall of shields that well. So he kind of holds up his crossbow and just kind of aims it straight down. He has disadvantage because that's an awkward. Oh, okay, yeah, he manages to do pretty well. He shoots and just kind of randomly into the crowd. Let me see if he manages to get anybody. He does not. The arrow just kind of like shoots out of the crossbow and goes into the ground, right in between Dravis and Guy Dude, like equidistant between them, and doesn't really hurt anybody. It just kind of hits the ground. Another orc tries to swing his sword at one of the other humans. It again just kind of clinks off the top of the wall, and he's kind of getting frustrated. One of these other orcs is well prepared. He has an actual like javelin, so he tries to use that as a ranged weapon to stab between the shields. But he unfortunately also fails. Like the humans are doing too well at like slapping people's swords or weapons out of the way and defending themselves and holding up their shields to defend each other. One of the orcs manages to break the shield line again. He like swings his sword in a downward motion and manages to chop one of the heads of the humans, and they just kind of fall down and crumple, holding their head, and they're pretty much down for the count. One of these other humans, in response, attempts to use that opportunity to swing his sword and attack that orc who is now stepped forward. But he really fails. He like drops his sword and it goes flying into the orcs. And does it hit anybody? It does not. The sword just kind of like flies into the orc army and just like stabs into the ground and doesn't hit anybody, which is pretty unfortunate. The other humans attempt to push forward with their wall of shields, like keeping pressure on the orcs and forcing them to step backward and stumble. They don't succeed very well. It's just kind of still a deadlock. Nothing's really happening. Alright, it's your turn. Wait, whose turn is it? Is it Guy Dude's turn, I think?
Guider.
All
I
right.
think so.
Yeah, Guy Dude, go ahead.
I'm gonna try to attack the least convenient. Well, the orc that is causing the most trouble.
Okay, that would probably be the one that just stabbed the human and caused him to die, or at least fall down. Probably not dead.
Ooh.
But he's severely hurt. If you want to heal him, you could do that as well. Because he's not dead. He's just like kind of fallen down. Yeah. You roll me an attack roll to hit that orc.
Okay. Hold on a second. That's 21.
Wow. Nice. Okay. So yeah, you managed to.
Actually,
What?
a little more than that, I think.
Oh, okay.
23. Yeah.
Nice.
I lied.
Yeah, you lied, making it even better. So yeah, you managed to take or like pull back your spear from where you had tried to stab before. You kind of like move a couple feet or a couple more humans over to your left, and you instead like stab into this orc, or like directly through the hole in the shield wall, because one of these humans has now fallen, and you just kind of stab this orc directly in the chest, and he kind of like falls backward. Now, can you take a look at your? I know you're already looking at your weapons page. Can you tell me what the damage is? It's on the right red box.
1d10 plus 5.
1d10 plus 5. Nice. So roll me a d10, which is random number generator 1 through 10, and then add 5 to it. And that'll be the amount of damage that you do with this weapon.
That'll be a 9.
9. Nice. Let me see.
Is he using a random number generator?
Yes.
You want to use this site that I'm using? Here.
What are you using?
It's a dice site.
I'm just using Google's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's kind of nice, actually. That's really nice. Okay. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Alright, yeah, you stab this orc, and like he's severely injured. He kind of like stumbles backward and falls on his back, and he's like kind of writhing on the ground in pain for a short minute. He's still holding his weapon in his hand, but he's like in bad shape. And you take your weapon back out of his where you've stabbed him, and hide back in the enemy lines. If you'd like to, as a bonus action, I'll let you pick up that shield, so you can like become the new person holding that shield in that spot.
Okay.
Only problem is his weapon's a two-handed weapon.
Is it?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in
Yeah,
that case, never mind. Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to do? You have movement speed, but so you can move around if you want to. Otherwise,
Just can move around. That's all I can do.
well, every time it's your turn in combat, you have an action, which is usually like retreating, like if you want to dash, move really quick, if you want to hide, if you want to attack.
Alrighty.
Those are all like major actions. You could also do a bonus action, which is like after you do your main action, you can do like some other smaller task, something like that, and then you have movement speed. Your movement speed is listed on the main part of the app. It's usually like 30 feet, I think is the standard. I think
Mine's
yours is,
30.
yeah, 30 feet. So you can move 30 feet in one round of combat.
I can only attack once.
Yeah, you can only attack once at at level 1, I think.
So yeah, I'll stop then in this part of the line.
Okay, cool. Now we're back up to some more humans doing their stuff. They're managing to push the orcs back a little bit. One of them has a bow and arrow, and he like climbs up on the rocks behind you to the left and begins like kind of shooting down, trying to hit the orcs. And whoa, he does really well. He manages to shoot an arrow, like pulls it back as far as he can with his longbow, lets it loose, and it just like stabs directly through, like goes all the way through the face of one orc, comes out the back of his head, and then hits another orc. So
That's one powerful bow.
he pulled it back, and he's like very close range to this orc, so it kind of obliterated him. So yeah, that's one orc down. Holy cow. He nat 20'd, by the way, that's why he did so amazing. And alright. So now it's back up to Dravis.
Yeet. I would like to start taking out orcs on the
Orcs on the right flank. Alright, what would you like to use to take them out? You have your weapons.
my short sword.
All right. So you draw your short sword and try to swipe at them. What are you trying to do exactly here? There are like I'll describe it a little bit to you.
Attack.
Let me actually pull out GIMP real quick, just so I can have a little bit of ability to show you what I'm thinking. Okay, this might take a while. Great. So imagine that if this box is where Shroomy is, then like he's here, and then there's like 5 orcs just kind of like in a line over here, and so Shroomy is like kind of hiding behind them. They're facing this direction, like attacking the humans, but Shroomy's managed to like sneak around, and he's like ready to stab at them or something. But if he like swipes at this one, then these guys are gonna notice him and that kind of thing. So what would you like to do, Shroom? Who would you like to attack?
I'd like to attack the one on the far right.
On the far right, so like over here or something. All right. So go ahead. What weapon are you gonna use?
My short sword.
Oh yeah. Okay. What's your modifier thingy for that?
+7.
Nice. All right. So yeah, go ahead and roll me an attack roll. See if you can hit.
Natural 20.
Oh my. Okay. So let me pull up a. Oops, sorry, I burped.
You better be sorry.
Doot. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Okay, I've got a thingy. Let me roll a D100 to figure out exactly what this nat 20 does. 46. Holy cow. Okay, so you you come down with your short sword. This orc has no idea what you're doing, and you just kind of like slice into his back just above the neck, and you do 3 times your normal damage to him. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Nice one, Sherby.
Okay.
I call up on the other side of the battlefield. Nice one, Travis.
Where's damage again?
Your damage is right beside the plus modifier thingy. In another red box below the
It's
weapon.
1d6 + 5, so
So yeah, 1d6 plus 5, and then whatever number you get, multiply that by 3.
Okay. So I have 13.
13 damage times 3?
Just total 13.
Total of 13 after you multiply it by 3?
Oh wait. Okay, hold on.
I'm confused about the math here.
Yeah, I was about to say
So
same.
I rolled a 1d6 + 5. That is
So that's 6 times 3.
6 times 3. It's 1d. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
Which is
I'm
18.
done. 18. My bad.
Now that makes more sense than 13.
I derped out so bad right now.
And I say I'm bad at math.
1d6. I was like, how does that? Oh wait, it's the dice. I'm an idiot.
Is the dungeon master done with playing with that toy of his?
I'm just so the final count for damage was what?
18.
18? Okay, wow. So yeah, you managed to do twice the amount of damage required to kill this particular man, or this particular orc, and you just like slice him completely in half, and your sword is going so fast that it just like slices into the leg of the next orc that was directly in front of him. And roll me a d8 on that guy.
A d8. Do I have a d8? Yes. Okay. 3.
3. Okay. So you managed to slice him in the leg, not terribly badly, but you managed to do some damage to him too. And he goes ah, and like kind of stumbles and rotates to face you. I'm like,
now they know you're behind them.
Yeah, now they're gonna be quite angry at you. Now it's Jeb Jebby's turn. What you gonna do, Jeb Jeb?
Okay, so I'm done figuring out what my left from right is, and I start heading back over to Shroomy. But meanwhile, I see guy knocking that one orc on his butt. So I take my spear along the way, and I just dig it right there in the orc that's laying down on the ground.
You wait, what? So as you're walking to the right, you just kind of wait. Oh, hey, that guy got knocked on the ground, and you stab him.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right, roll to hit. Go for it.
All right, cool.
So you're kind of like walk in front of guy dude, and you like lean out of the wall of shields, just go, "Arr!" Putting yourself in a little bit of danger, but. See how well you do.
Trying to figure out if I've got proficiency in this. I'm using the D&D Beyond thing. I don't know how to use this thing very well.
I don't know how to use Dungeons and Dragons that well.
Where's my proficiencies at?
Meanwhile, while you're doing this, you just hear a large and Glumporio just kind of like crashes through and like slams into a couple orcs, and he starts swinging around a random sword that he apparently picked off the ground.
Okay, I found it. All right, so my hit is going to be an 18.
Okay, nice. So you definitely hit. Roll for damage.
And my damage is a 1d8 plus 4. So that's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, you managed to stab this orc while he's already on the ground, and he just goes, "Ah!" and like stops moving. You stab him, and he's dead. Get him like directly in the heart or something. However, now
you're the remainder of my movement. Oh darn!
You have put yourself in a little bit of danger. If you use your movement to retreat, you're within 5 feet of other enemies, so they would get an opportunity attack on you because you're like moving away without like blocking. In order to escape without taking damage when you're like within 5 foot of an enemy, you need to like use a full action as a disengage action, and that would allow you to like get out of danger without like while blocking basically. But if you just use your movement, then you would be like they would get a free attack on you basically.
How many of them are within 5 feet of me?
At least 4. Because you're kind of leaning out of the wall of shields, and there's just like orcs all ganged up on the other side. There's like a sea of orcs just surrounding everything.
Yeah, I'd like to. My weapon is a ranged weapon, so.
Which weapon? I thought you used your short sword. Which weapon did you use?
No, I said spear.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Well, in that case, never mind.
I don't have a short sword.
Okay. How long is the spear again? Is it like 10 feet long or something? 5 feet?
It just says long. Let me see real quick.
Hi, Magical Unicorn. Welcome to the stream. Sorry I didn't see you a second ago.
It's 20 to 60 feet. What? No, not 60 feet.
20 to 60 feet?
Reach. Reach is 5 feet. Reach is 5 feet. So I get a whole.
So I'll say
5 extra feet.
Yeah, you're leaning out only like maybe a foot out of the wall of shields, so you're not terribly undefended. However, you are still within a few feet of these orcs, so it would be, I don't know, it's a bit dangerous. Do what you will.
I still take my remainder to move back in and try to go to the right if I have enough.
So yeah, one of the orcs tries to swipe at you as you're like leaning out and then going back, but he misses, and he just like kind of hits the weapon of one of his other orc buddies and doesn't manage to successfully hit you. And you manage to like kind of dodge out of the way and just keep going towards the right.
As I go to the right, I say neater, neater, neater.
They respond. All right, the orcs are gonna continue trying to like bash down this wall.
Hi, Magical Unicorn.
They're terrible at this. These orcs just woke up on the wrong side of bed or something. I don't know what their deal is. Oh, one of them managed to
Obviously, they
succeed.
attacked at 4 in the morning.
That's true.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they were already preparing for war when you guys were in their camp. That's why they were all kind of gathering up and like getting weapons and stuff. So yeah, let me. So one of them, or a couple of them actually, begin to like push their way towards the like pushing their way inward. So the human line begins to like bow inward. Here, let me just draw it. I pulled this thing up and I haven't used it yet. So if this is the human line and this is the line of orcs, they begin to like push forward, and the human line begins to bow inward like that, or bow inward. I don't know what the term is for battles or something. So if this is Kisto's men kind of like pushing forward up here, this is where you guys are, and it's kind of bowing inward now. And this is where the line has kind of fallen a little bit, where Shrumi's wrecking face over here. And, oh yeah, you can't see it on stream. Shrumi's wrecking face over here. This is where the orcs are kind of pushing forward. And this is where Kisto's men are doing great.
I demand different colors.
I'm bad at art, okay? We've established this many times. Alright. So now we're up to Guy Dude again.
I think I'll take another attempt to take out some more orcs here.
Alright. Go for it. Would you like to try to stab like the nearest orc again? Ooh, what's that noise?
Yep. Or the most
Alright, roll to hit.
problems. 15.
Okay. So, let me just check one thing. Yep, that manages to hit. So you manage to stab another orc like in the shoulder, his sword arm, and so his right arm, and he goes "Arr!" and is kind of like pushed backward. Roll for damage.
Okay. 13.
13, nice. Okay. So this orc managed to, or like just as you pull your halberd back out of his kind of his neck shoulder area, like a lot of blood kind of spurts out, and he just like is like stumbles back holding his neck, and he's like, ah, why?
Why?
Because you're attacking us, obviously. Then, so as he's stumbling backward, severely injured, suddenly, out of nowhere, this enormous... Here, let me just draw this part real quick.
Oh boy.
I know.
Watch, we have some kind of giant, like a gift that we have to take care of.
Are Gith really giants? I didn't know
Yep,
this.
gifts are giants.
Didn't know that. So
are Goliaths.
why am I extending this? This is really not giving me more room to work with. So, this giant, layer, new layer. I don't know how to use GIMP, apparently. Alright. Wait, what? What did I do? Oh, I forgot it. Made this as... 1 second. There we go. My beautiful drawing skills. So, this huge wall of light just... Oh, actually, you know... Roll me a Constitution save, everyone.
Now, don't be pulling a stew and have some kind of overpowered hero.
I might be.
16.
Same.
Okay.
Not good.
Not good. It's the best number.
16's not good?
No, Sturmy just said that his is not good.
Oh.
Total of 4.
Oh, I can see why it's not good.
That's not good.
Poor Shroomy.
Oh.
First he wakes up late.
Wake up to an arrow piercing by 10.
Alright. Shroomy, you are knocked backward by just a huge white light, and you're just like, ah! And you cover your eyes and you fall backward. Roll me a d6.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I assume Shroomy's turning around if the light's coming from the side of the orc.
Well, I'll tell you in just a second.
I rolled
Okay.
a 5.
5? Oh, you take 5 damage.
Oh shit.
So,
Oh dear.
he just kind of like is instantly blinded. He falls backward, is basically just blasted backward by this large warm force, and like his hair is ruffled, and he just kind of falls backward and is not able to see. Shroomy, you are now blinded for the next 1 minute. You are not going to be able to see anything. Meanwhile, what everyone else sees is this giant wall of light just kind of blasts, like extending from the ground, just kind of like rising up. A large wall that is 10 feet high, 5 feet thick, and 60 feet long, just kind of emanating from somewhere over here where Shroomy was wrecking face, just like right behind him to his right, and it kind of blasts along the wall of shields. Basically just separating, like as it rises from the ground, just instantaneously, it blasts all the orcs backward to the right, all the orcs are over here, and all the humans get blasted backward to the left, and it just, like, kind of leaves them all dazed and confused and separates the two armies into their respective places. And this is a huge, blinding wall of light. It is, like, extremely bright light, for 120 feet, so like this whole area is just lit up like a Christmas tree, even though it's 3 a.m. And there's, beyond that, there's 120 more feet of like dim light, so like Shroomy got the worst of it, but it's like lighting up the entire battlefield here. Everyone kind of goes, whoa, 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 hey, and the fighting is forced to stop as all the orcs have been forced to one side, and all the humans have been forced to the other side, and they're just kind of stuck, wondering what in the world just happened. As this happened, the wall of light remains there for a few seconds, is like maybe 5 or 6 seconds, while everyone's just kind of staring at it confused. Then you see like some shadowy figures begin to appear in this light, and like coming from the right side. So if you're looking at the wall of orcs, or like where the orcs were, it would be coming from your right, Dravis, and I mean Jebjebi and Guy Dude. You can't see anything, Dravis. So you see these like kind of like shadowy figures appear in the wall of light, so like within it, I guess. Then the wall of light kind of like begins to sink back into the ground like ice melting, and the light begins to fade away. And left on the battlefield, standing between the humans and the orcs, are now these 13 hooded figures. And as your eyes kind of adjust back to the like normal lighting conditions instead of the absolute blinding crazy light, you can see that they're well, normally perception. You two that can actually see.
On there.
16.
16? Alright. Alright, so Jebjebi, you can see that these figures are draped in like a kind of like a monk robe, like the typical medieval brown monk robe, and they have like each of them have like a small thin golden chain around their stomachs as a belt. And they, within their hoods, you can see like a large, kind of like a raven beak sticking out of the front of it.
Oh, I know who they are.
And
not as my character in real life.
Yeah, and you, Guy Dude, cannot see this yet. Then, as like the blindness and like confusion kind of settles, these 13 creatures are standing in a line between the two armies, just kind of like, so that both armies have kind of retreated about 20 to 30 feet away from these people, and are just staring at them in confusion. The orcs are kind of like mustering up, like, hey, okay, well, that was weird, but we're maybe gonna attack. The humans are just kind of like just confused and like staring, and also very on edge. And the Kenku's just, or I gave it away, but Ray, you just in your normalness, you know what these creatures are. But Jebjebi, you would actually know that these creatures are they are the you've never actually seen one of these guys in real life, but you've heard stories that these are like the stewards of a second kind of like holy temple area for the earth gods that is nearby to this place. So the witch doctor shaman that lives on the mountain of Veridad is one kind of like keeper of the earth gods, and this is a second group that I didn't really mention till now because didn't really come up.
Because I just thought of it.
Yeah. So yeah, these are bird creatures. They are basically like ravens, except humanoid. They have arms and legs and that kind of thing. And they're just kind of standing there creepily with their hoods up. And then the one in the middle, like I guess the seventh one from either side, pulls off his hood and is just kind of staring at the human side, and the other ones are just kind of like looking. Some are looking at the orcs and some are looking at the humans, and they're all just kind of staring. What are you guys gonna do? What's going on?
Well, I put my spear away and I walk slowly towards the one that's staring at us.
Okay. So you're not gonna say anything or anything?
Not yet.
Okay. These creatures are called Kenku, by the way. Guy dude. So this weird creature kind of like just raises his hand menacingly. Here, I wish I could turn back on my camera. Well, oh well, you can't see it for now, but this creature just kind of like raises his arm menacingly at Ray, is just kind of like pointing-ish, and is just like holding his arm out. Then you hear one of the orc commander kind of dudes who looks like he's in charge go, "Who are you?" And then one of the leader Kenku, who had his arm pointed at Ray, kind of like lowers his arm and turns to face the orc army instead, and he responds, "You! Who are you?" And the orc kind of goes, "We're the orc army! We're the Empire of Gath! We're here to wipe the menace of humanity off this land. Don't stand in our way, or we won't hesitate to destroy you as well." And the Kenku just kind of cock their heads and they're like, "Excuse?" They say, "Destroy!" And the orcs are like, "What? What?" And they're just kind of like looking at each other confusedly. How are you guys gonna respond?
I get down on one knee and I reply, "Hail the keepers of the earth."
The leader, kind of Kenku in the middle, turns back to you and goes, "Hail, keepers of the earth!"
Parents?
Are you annoyed yet?
That's all I do. What about you two? Well, hopefully Shroomi's almost done being blind.
Yeah, as this is happening, Shroomy kind of like begins to blink and goes, "Oh, what the heck is?" Oh, and he is able to see now. And you see.
I'm seeing bird people.
I knew I shouldn't have drank that much last night. Didn't want that. Okay. The Kenku say, "You! Destroy! You destroy!" And they kind of point at the mountain. Or like the leader guy points at the mountain, which is still kind of glowing with the fire and lava.
Is he like accusing us of destroying the mountain?
It's up for you to interpret.
No,
I'd like
not
to
go
roll.
boom.
I would like to roll insight on what he said.
Grayson Bean, I don't know if my sister's going live. I'm not sure what she's doing. She probably will. I think she goes live in 15 minutes if things are normal. Hawk says, hold your arm out again.
Dirty 20.
The stewards of this temple place? What? Oh, stewards, not stewards. Okay, whatever. What'd you say, Ray?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alright. So, you can tell that the Kenku is saying you destroy, like, and pointing at the mountain. So yeah, it for me is kind of on the right track. By the way, you know, actually, I'll let you guys figure it out on your own.
What do you mean we've destroyed your mountain?
You've destroyed Earth!
But Earth is below us, and the gods are still around, are they not?
Gods destroyed! You destroy gods!
Are you saying we've killed the gods?
The Kenku kind of turns back to the orcs, who are, like, kind of bumbling and, like, being confused, and it just gives them a glare, and they kind of, like, quiet down and look back at him. What was the last thing you said again?
You destroyed, gods destroyed, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, you mean we destroyed the gods?
Mm-hmm. Several of the humans are still sick with this plague, by the way, and one of them coughs. Just happens to cough at this point. And the Kenku kind of points at the human. The particular one who coughed.
Okay.
Alright.
That's a cough. It's normal.
So,
What do you want from us?
It's really difficult to speak with these guys because these I don't want to give it away because that'll like ruin the mystery of it or whatever. Ray, do you know what this particular race of creatures is like? Like, have you read
Can I? Oh well, I know in real life, but can I roll?
Insight
roll
again?
Nah, it would be intelligence, wouldn't it? So I know
to remember
what these
something about. Yeah, how about roll intelligence to see if you remember some of the stories about these creatures.
All right.
Hawk says, I now vanoosh until this is uploaded to YouTube. Alright, see you later, Hawk.
I don't remember jack crap. It's kid.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll remember that they speak strangely. They don't speak
well, that's obvious. They speak strangely.
Yeah, they don't speak with like their own creativity and their own like their own logic, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
So the orcs kind of go, "What do you mean we've destroyed the gods? The gods cannot be destroyed." And the Kenku kind of looks at him, turns around again, like, creepily and slowly, and he's like, "Boy, stop interrupting me. I'm trying to have a nice conversation." He's not saying that, by the way. I'm trying to think of what the next response would be. It's really hard, because I have a limited vocabulary to work with.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They can copy what some of the words they've heard so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but like it's hard because I can't keep track of all the words. I can't write that fast, basically, to keep track of all the words that you guys said. They just kind of, or the Kenku in the middle just kind of stands there and just like holds his arms out to like say stop, like a policeman directing traffic. He just kind of holds his arms out at both groups and just holds his arms out, and the orcs are like, "What's he doing? What do you want?
I believe he wants us to stop this fight, this war.
But we're about to crush you. Why would we stop trying to kill you? We've killed so many and we've come so far. Your filth should not be allowed to continue on this earth.
Perhaps the gods believe we're both filthy if we continue this on.
You killed gods!
I'm about to bash this bird's brain.
I want
I'm
that.
afraid to attack him because if he's able to make a wall of light like that, he's gotta be so powerful or something.
I will not confirm nor deny, but I will say that most of these guys, except the main one, are holding like little quarter staffs. So they've got like, they each have like a little staff, which is maybe 4 to 5 feet tall, depending on how tall they are. And the top of each of them has like a little crystal in it. So you can tell that they at least have some sort of magical proficiency or something. Or maybe they're just good at bashing things with sticks. Who knows?
I'm not sure how to. Kaidu, get over here and help me make sense of this.
I'm sitting here trying to do that. I haven't been able to figure out anything they're trying to say. Has the fighting on this island in some way caused the gods to stop acting?
Was that a question to me or?
I was referring to the bird people
Okay.
when I asked that question.
The bird kind of looks at you and then nods. The bird person also notices. Do either of you have like a symbol of like your faith or something? Because you're like paladins. Do you have like?
I think I do.
I do
Sure I
too, but mine probably is. Mine's a reliquary.
I have a holy symbol, it says.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So the Kenku notices your like holy symbol around your neck. Where is it exactly? Like, what is it?
My reliquary's in my pocket.
Mm-hmm. And what's yours?
Like it's the symbol of what's the name of that god? Real quick, give me
Yours doesn't matter. They can't see it.
Oh, okay.
Mine is around my neck.
Okay. So yeah, the Kenku points at your religious symbol thing and goes, gods!
I
Yeah,
wonder
you gotta-
if they have chicken.
Okay, so just so FYI, so you don't think I'm an idiot, these creatures can only repeat phrases and words that they've heard. They can't actually make up their own words or anything. They can only mimic sounds that they've heard and that kind of thing. So I'm only allowed to use words that you guys or other people have said. I'm not allowed to like have them just kind of come up and go, "Hey, how's it going, bro?" Because they haven't heard those words.
I figured that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to give them more vocabulary.
Yeah.
Are you wanting us to pray to the gods?
The Kenku kind of shakes his head and is like, no, not it. They kind of point at the symbol again, and then or the one who's kind of like doing the speaking here points at the symbol and kind of like holds one. This kind of needs a visual, I guess. So he like holds out one arm and then kind of like focuses down on the other. Do you guys have the stream pulled up, or here I can turn on my camera and maybe.
Hold up.
Okay.
Where's the stream?
Ray, can you? It's.
Give me a second.
Yeah, can you just send a link to them or something, and I'll do it again. Or.
Got it.
So the Kenku kind of like holds out one arm and is like, and then points at the symbol again around your neck.
I have to wait a few seconds before I see.
There's ads.
Oh no!
Wait for the sound to get
Okay, so he grabbed the arm and then he pointed at the symbol.
He's just kind of like focusing down as though like his arm is like injured or something, and he's like kind of putting his other arm on it.
The gods are sick.
The Kenku kind of nods.
Could it be because of the illness that was brought to this island by the adventurers?
The Kenku nods again and points at the guy who had coughed.
The illness that is affecting these people is affecting the gods?
The Kenku
How
nods
unusual.
again. Meanwhile, the orcs are like, "What is this nonsense? The gods are immune to this kind of stuff. Let's just stab these birds and get on with it." And several of the the orcs like kind of start walking forward hesitantly, and two of the Kenku like on either side of the main dude kind of like just lift up their staffs and like bring him down, and another flash of light another flash of light appears like right in front of the orcs, and they go, okay. Yeah, it's just like an instantaneous flash of light for a second there, and they're just like, they get knocked onto their backs, but they don't get injured in any way.
How nice for them.
I want to see Shruby just try to kill one of these things.
One of the
get 5 health. I gotta play this more.
The Kenku in charge kind of reaches into his little pouch on his belt and like pulls out like something. You can't really see what it is from this distance, and he holds it out to you, guy dude.
I take it.
You're gonna need to walk 20 feet. You're gonna need to walk 20 feet closer in order to actually receive it.
20 feet
All right.
to do that.
Do you do it quickly or like
to hold out my hand?
Okay. So the other Kenku kind of like give you like a side eye, like, hey, just making sure you're not doing anything funny as you're walking up, and like their beady little bird eyes, and you hold out your hand, and the Kenku drops into your hand like this small glowing golden key. It's like it emanates with a slight light, not too fancy, but yeah. And you can go ahead and add that to your inventory if you'd like.
My inventory?
Yeah, like just type it into your inventory with all the other stuff you have, because like.
Glowing key.
I can do that?
Yeah, you can just kind of tap or hold down. I don't know. I forget.
The bird key.
Cactus says, "Is that Shroomy?" It is Shroomy. Shroomy is here.
Got it.
Zilla.
Say, is where this key is from the mountain?
You say that?
Say that.
The Kenku kind of like tilts his head and then points at the mountain again. Just kind of like points up at it.
Is there a secret passage in the mountain?
Are you saying this as a character, or are you just...
Yeah, I'm asking the...
The Kenku shakes his head and just points at the mountain again.
Are the gods in the mountain?
What are you thinking, Ray?
I'm thinking that my last Malik caused the beginning of the issues here.
You did indeed. Like I said, Malik has caused many more problems than you would ever know. So I know you weren't here, Mac, but Malik Alucard, Ray's previous character, pushed a very diseased dragon into the volcano.
Oh dear.
So yeah,
amongst other things.
Yeah, Malik Alucard kind of he's pretty much the villain of your guys' story. He's kind of caused a lot of the problems that you guys are encountering at this point. The Kenku just kind of shakes his head and then just not in response to you guys, just kind of shaking his head and looking down at the ground. And then,
do we need to go to the sanctuary of the gods and open its door?
The Kenku doesn't say anything. The Kenku just kind of turns back to his buddies on either side of him and then they all turn back to the right, and they begin walking back toward the right where they came from when the wall of light was up, and they're like kind of stepping away from between the orcs and the humans again, and the orcs are just kind of looking at each other like, should we keep fighting? What's the deal?
I draw out my spear and I throw it at the nearest orc.
You could have gotten out of this without fighting.
Nope.
You throw it at the bird?
No, at the orc, nearest
Oh,
orc.
I was gonna say, what have you?
I throw it at the orc.
All right. Roll initiative.
Okay, my initiative is a 17.
Oh boy, here we go again. Yours is a 17. I'm gonna need to completely redo the order on this. All right, and yours, Dravis?
Wait, what was that?
What's your initiative?
Oh, well, I didn't know. I was going.
Sorry.
Cactopus.
What did it say?
I think I just saw a piece of him die inside when you said my name.
Oh my gosh. Cactus says, I don't want to see his underpants, so don't let him stand up. Shroomy, are you wearing pants?
Oh my gosh.
It's an inside
Where's
joke, Mac.
initiative?
Initiative is on the main page.
Initiative's usually +2.
Well, that depends on your dex, so...
That's 13.
13, alright. And you, Mac?
Okay, hold up. Gotta look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. 12.
That tickled my upper lip.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Jeb.
What are you
I
doing?
just picture Jebby doing that in the middle. Like, you taunt us.
Alright. So, now the order is different.
Yep.
Just cross that.
I mean, we
bridge.
could have stuck with the previous order.
I mean, we could have, but the Kenku didn't want that to happen.
Well, it's too late.
I have to do so much work with stats this time. It's so annoying. Even with my preparation, it still takes a long time. Alright, so, roll me... So you're throwing your spear, right?
Yep.
Alright, you are 40 feet away from... No, wait. No, you're 60 feet away from the nearest orc to you.
So I'm at max range.
Yes. Roll to hit.
17. Oh, wait, rolled a hit. I was thinking initiative.
You could have easily convinced these orcs to not fight you at this point. Just saying.
I know, but come on now. Where's the fun in that?
There are still 130 orcs fighting you people, and there's only like maybe 70 humans here at this point.
Well, the general's doing a good job.
Alright, roll to hit. What'd you get?
22.
Yep. Alright, so your spear just like sails through the air and just like stabs into the nearest orc to you, which happens to be like the general kind of dude of the orc army.
Oh my.
Because he was kind of like in front and you kind of like stepped towards the... Anyway, so yeah, you just threw your spear and it just like impales the orc general. Roll for damage.
Damage is 11.
Ouch. Okay, yeah, so this orc just like gets stabbed in the stomach and is like, ah!
I love
Charge!
the noises he makes.
Yeah, he just like collapses immediately, like holding his stomach with the spear still in like halfway inside his stomach. And he yells charge. All the orcs begin charging again. The humans begin to like freak out and like try to get their defenses back in order. And you guys are back in the thick of it now. Good job. Dravis, what you gonna do?
Travis is gonna kill me now.
I have half my health range, so
the Kenku kind of turn, by the way, and they're just like looking, and they're just like, "You idiots!"
Like,
and they
what?
just they don't intervene. They just keep going back to wherever they're going.
Am I so? I nicked one, right? I nicked one on the
Yeah,
leg.
you've killed one, hurt one.
And at this point, they all know I'm there.
Well, I'm pretty
well,
sure
at this
you're
point-
separate.
At this point, the stealth is kind of like, it doesn't matter what your stealth was from a long time ago. That was before like you got blinded in the wall of light and the Kenku and everything. So that's just
I'm
I
gonna,
like to roll for stealth again.
all right. Yeah, roll for stealth. Where are you trying to
Oh,
go
no
with
way,
your
no.
stealth, or just like hide in plain sight again?
Is that your max health, Sherman?
His max
My
health is
max health
10.
is 10.
oof.
I think he needs a little healing.
Yeah, I could heal you.
So I wanna go stealth and then.
Hello?
Hi. What?
Oh,
Well, all right
this way
then.
and this way.
I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
So
my-
I wanna roll stealth and then go back to either
Oh, you cut out.
guy dude,
Back to who or what?
Jebby or guy dude.
Okay. I believe Jebby is closer to you.
Then Jebby.
but
okay.
I'm also in the middle of the field where I'm
Then-
practically wide open.
Then guy dude.
Guy Dude is even closer in the middle of the field because he walked up to the Kenku. So he's like,
Oh, geez.
Guy Dude is literally in the center of the entire battlefield, and the orcs are like charging at him.
That's true.
Technically, Jebby is like clearly out of line with the rest of the humans too, though. So you might be able to get away with just being like, "No, kill him! Don't kill us!"
I don't know who to go with then.
Run away. I think that's your best option at this point.
What?
That is run away.
Just saying.
Yeah, you guys might want to run too.
I'm
man.
probably about to.
just get out of there.
I'd like to run to guy dude because he seems safer if there's such a.
You're running
No,
to
he's
Guy Dude.
closest.
Okay, so Guy Dude, what are you doing during this? Well, as he's coming to you. I assume you're running for the hills, right? Because there's like an army of orcs after you.
They're at Jebby for being an idiot.
What? They're orcs! We kill orcs!
I beat a hasty retreat.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that Guy Dude retreats like 30 feet back to the line of humans, and Dravis just goes to him during that. So he's like rushing back to the line of humans and manages to like get the heck out through the line of shields as they're like managing to resituate themselves as the orcs are like rushing back to where he had been standing. And then Dravis manages to get to him. What are you guys gonna do about why are you meeting or whatever?
Please heal me.
Okay. How much health do you need?
How much health do I need? Oh, let me count my health.
I'll take 4.
4? Okay.
So now I'm back at 9.
There you go.
Okay, the Kenku are kind of like, they've kind of retreated a distance and they're just kind of watching like, wow, what morons, with their arms crossed. Or most of them are continuing to walk away, but 2 of them are still kind of watching. And they're looking with their beady little eyes as this is happening. So yeah, do your healing or whatever. You can describe it if you'd like.
Describe how you do it.
I lay hands on him, and then
Poof.
most of the whatever hurt him just gets healed a little bit.
Okay.
Because that's the best description I can do right now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you kind of like concentrate for a moment, reach out and like put your hands on him, and like there's a small shine of light that glows from his skin for a moment, and then he feels better by 4 health. Then the Kenku who are watching kind of like point and go, like they're just kind of silently pointing at that. I don't know if you guys would have noticed that with your perception check, but yeah, they're just kind of pointing at that, and they're like, yes, that's exactly what we were talking about with the arm and the thing and the whatever. Okay, fine. And then, yeah. So those two Kenku who were watching just kind of raise their staffs again and bring them down, and there's like a concussive blast in like the center of the battlefield, and
Does it hit me?
have you moved yet?
We should direct it at him.
No, I'm still where I stood to throw the spear because you decided to move on.
Yeah, so it's in the middle of the battlefield, so yeah, you're kind of in harm's way. It's like a 30-foot kind of like just blast of like thunder, and it kind of like knocks a few orcs flying as they're like rushing towards that, and you're like just in the outskirts of it, and you just kind of get blasted backward like over the heads of the line of humans, and you just like fly 10 feet up in the air and then land on your back.
Alright, that's it, you stupid bird.
Wait, what? Are you going to attack the? Oh my. Okay, I don't care. Okay, your turns again. Do what you're gonna do. The humans are just preparing. The orcs are just charging. The Kenku are just staring like, why?
Who has highest initiative?
Jebby, you have the highest initiative, so it's your turn again.
So, are there any spears on the ground near me?
Yes, there are a couple fallen orcs and fallen humans. So there's like some
I'd like
weapons.
to take another spear.
All right.
And are there any, is there a direct line of sight to the general?
The general is now obscured by the army of approaching orcs, so no.
Can I do a miracle throw with a disadvantage and try to hit him from where I am?
Yes, you may try. Cactubus says, me brother, tell Shumi to put on some pants. And Cactubus says, Guy Dude? Yes, Guy Dude is the name of one of these bros.
I got a question for you.
Yeah?
If I do disadvantage and get a nat 20 on the first, does nat 20 count?
That cancels out the disadvantage if you get a nat 20 on the first roll.
Yeah, I got nat 20.
Oh my gosh. So, Jebby does a miracle yeet and just throws this dagger, or like throws this spear just kind of like straight up in an arc, and it goes in a perfect parabola and just like stabs into this orc, or this orc general in the back lines, and you just hear a like a yelp, and then the orc general was no more.
And then I use my remaining speed to run again.
No, you're already out of there. You got blasted over the wall of humans. Remember?
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know I got.
You're
blasted.
lucky you didn't get damaged for that.
Yeah, true. Okay, so where am I? So in comparison to things, because
you're behind the wall of humans. The orcs are approaching. They're about 10 feet away from clashing with the human wall again. They have like twice as many people as the humans, basically.
I'd like to lock my shields and pick. Can I pick up one more spear? I'm not going to attack
on your next turn. You've done your thing. So
all right.
Dravis, it's your turn once more. Shrimp just like, why?
Hey, I took care of the general.
If you want, Dravis, you're good at deception and stuff. You could walk up to the birds and like convince them to help you out, because your friend's an idiot. They're just kind of stare. Two of them are staring at least. The rest of them are just like, why? Cactus says, this guy's a bloody legend.
Yeah, I'll approach the burbs now.
Okay, the burbs are about 60 feet away to your right now. It'll take 2 turns to reach them. And depending on if you want to like charge at them or if you want to like walk up to them like a peaceful normal human, yeah, so what would you like to do? Explain. You could also, like, there is technically a dash action, so if you wanted to, you could use your dash action, move twice your normal speed, and get there in 1 turn. But you'd look like you're charging for war.
I guess I'll try to dash.
Oh no.
Alright. Yeah, go ahead. Dash and roll me charisma.
Alright.
are you trying to look like you're a peaceful, smiling person, or are you just like, I'm going to murder the birds and have
I
chicken
look like I'm
tonight?
about 5,000% done with all of it. And my charisma. That's a 9 total.
Cactopus.
All right. These two Kenku kind of like look at you with incredulous eyes, and they're just like, really? And they kind of raise their quarterstaffs as you get close. Once you get to within about 10 feet, they bring their staffs down and like hit the ground, and just like, you know how earthbenders can like raise just like a wall of earth or something? They just kind of like bring down their staffs, and just a wall of rock just like rises from the ground, and you just bash your face into it. And then they lower it immediately after. So you're about 10 feet away from these guys now, and just kind of dazed. Would you like to say anything before we move on to Guy Dude, or are you just confused?
First of all, ow. Second of all, I don't know how much you guys can understand me. I understand my friend is an idiot. But if we do this thing for you, will you please help against the orcs? If we go on this quest with the golden key, can you help us against the orcs?
Help? One of them cocks their head.
Help.
Help? Why?
Because quest.
It's just simple like that. Because quest.
Because gods.
Because gods. Need help.
Because you help gods.
I help gods. You help us, humans.
They kind of look to each other for a moment, and they're like, orcs?
Kill orcs.
Help.
You say help?
Help.
Help.
Help gods?
Help gods. Help kill orcs.
The Kenku kind of look at each other. Roll me persuasion.
Oh gosh, why?
Oh no, what'd you roll? Please tell me you rolled something good.
I got a total of 9.
Oh. Oh no.
That is not what I wanted to hear. These Kenku, honestly, just before the roll, they were kind of siding with you, but then they see you humans, like some of the humans, just kind of like, "Rah!" Like charging and being chaotic and crazy and looking like they're murderous psychopaths, and then they're just like, no, you help gods, help all. Would you like to try anything else? They're kind of standing there.
Cactopus says, just mention me, they'll help.
Yes. Remember how we've wanted the viewers to help with stuff? Maybe we could get the viewers to decide something. Viewers, should the Kenku help or not? What do you think? Is there anything that they can do that would change their minds? It's like Cactopus the Wise. Decide for the Kenku. If you were a bird person and this person is like leading an army and they're like destroying each other for no reason, would you try to help them or no? With fighting other random people. Cactopus says lol. Your fate shall now be decided by the chat shrooms. Even though you failed to be a successful convincer, we'll see what they decide. Meanwhile, Guy Dude, what are you gonna do?
Where am I right now?
You made it back to you're like basically in line with the humans, just made it past successfully, so you're like behind the line of the humans, in safety. Cactus says, too much pressure, I'm out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the Kenku just kind of go, too much pressure, I'm out, and they kind of turn around and they walk away. They follow their brethren.
That's not good.
Oh boy.
Maybe Shroomy can like stealth over to them and steal one of their quarterstaffs and try to use that though.
I have thought of it. Now that I got my health back.
Oh no. I don't want to encourage you to do anything stupid though, so I shouldn't be talking like that.
You're supposed to be partial, monkey.
So what would you like to do, guy dude?
I guess what's his name? Jabby.
Chubby.
Whatever his name is.
Oh no.
And talk to him.
Alright, so you walk
Tough
about
words, if you will.
you walk about 15 feet over to Jebby and see what he's going on.
How can I help you with, lizard friend?
I love how you're like, how can I help you? This is a calm time to have a conversation.
Exactly.
First off, Dragonborn. Second,
Yes, I forgot. My apologies.
Oh no.
sorry. Second, what was that?
I was just killing the orcs like we humans are supposed to.
Slap him.
Are you sure that this is
Slap
not
him.
the reason the whole island is dying? Why?
No, I'm pretty sure the whole reason the island is dying because a group of crazy people came through several days ago, maybe a week ago. I can't really tell what time it is anymore. And they had the sickness with them.
Oh, so it has nothing. So those bird people didn't convince you at all? Who came out of a light wall?
No, not really. The orcs need to die.
So matter of fact, just not orcs are evil. Yeah, it's just
Orcs are
they
evil,
don't have
they need to
souls. Oh my goodness.
The one thing that my great-great-grandmammy always taught me was orcs are like demons. They don't have souls, so they deserve to die.
Well,
Well,
she sounds like a lovely person.
I would
I
say
wonder if she ever said anything about Dragonborn, though.
on your home continent, I would say, guy dude, you've seen orcs that are not like bloodthirsty. Like, people don't generally like orcs, and like they're kind of in their own groups, but they're not like all evil. And you've probably talked to a couple and had like a normal conversation. Just as background information. Hector says, guy dude is obviously gifted with the power of accuracy from the gods. They might give him trustworthy and fight for him. Wait, what? Find him trustworthy and fight for him. Ah, yes, maybe the gods will fight for him. He is a paladin.
Me?
Where did he get the accuracy from is the question.
I have no idea. That's just what Cactus said. I was
I don't know
reading
where you
it.
got that from either. I don't see that anywhere.
It's in the chat on YouTube.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about my. I figured out where you got it from.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's just memeing
From
around.
my abilities, I don't see where that comes from. I'm allowed to. In relation to that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Technically, we're supposed to, or like technically we'd go for 2 hours, and that would end in 5 minutes. Do we want to keep going, or does anyone have
Let's
places
keep
to be?
on going.
Okay, I don't want to keep you guys if you're not wanting to be kept on or kept going.
We can keep going.
What do you guys say?
If at any point you do need to leave, we can always just say pause and do it next time.
Pause.
Pause time. That orc will definitely lose his temper after all this.
So I don't know where we are now. I'm lost.
Well,
Happens relatively quickly.
Well, you guys were talking. That's about it. You were chatting, and Jebby is apparently a racist because his grandmom was a racist or a speciesist, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you know, some people would say the same thing about Dragonborns, but
that they're soulless?
here I am fighting along. What?
That they're soulless?
When
Certainly you have a soul.
I do, in fact.
Then you're my friend.
What? I missed that.
He said, then you're my friend.
There are those on my island who have a similar beliefs to my kind as, or my continent that have similar beliefs to yours in regards to my kind. That's why I set off on the ship in the first place.
And also because of the plague.
So do you not think it possible that these orcs do indeed have souls and can be saved?
But my grandmammy would never lie to me.
Not so much a lie as ignorance.
Oh, that was me. That was Jeb Jebby.
Well, was Jeb Jebby?
Cactopus was making mention to general thing.
I'm not
Yeah.
paying attention to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was Jeb Jebby that did it.
Yeah, Jeb Jebby was the one who threw the thingy.
Okay, as you were saying, I apologize for interrupting you.
Said not so much lying as ignorance.
Well, it's too late
Impossible,
now.
my
I've already
goodness.
killed their general.
We can make it to the mountain, and maybe we can solve the problem with the gods, and that will solve this strife between the peoples.
Perhaps we should talk to... what's your name again, Shroomy?
Dravis.
Dravis. Maybe we should talk to Dravis about this first. See what he has to say.
Agreed.
All right. So I guess I'll head off to Dravis.
Okay, you guys will not be able to make it to Dravis in one round of combat. The
That's
orcs
fine.
slam into the human line, and the battle continues. You guys are kind of like, I guess, not really in the line anymore. You're kind of like behind it, so you're not
Yeah.
really a part of the battle right now. So you can continue walking if you want to, and just blow off the whole army and like.
Yeah,
ignore-
I'm blowing off the army.
All right. So you
I
guys.
killed the one I wanted to kill.
So you guys just kind of take a couple rounds to walk towards Dravis. Dravis, what are you doing? Are you gonna go after the birds or just like wait
I
there?
want to.
Woof 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 woof.
Wow.
I want to try and. I guess steal one of their stabs.
Oh, I'm sorry I gave you this idea. I didn't convince you to do this, did I?
I want that.
Oh no! He's revived his
Hashtag, I
mantra.
want that.
Okay.
Everyone in chat, put down hashtag I want that.
Yeah. Alright, Shroomy, roll me sleight of hand. Are you trying to stealth up to them first, or are you just gonna
I
swipe?
want to stealth up to the first.
Okie doke, go for it. Roll me stealth.
Oh,
Oh no, what'd
that's a total
That
of
doesn't
12.
you... Okay. So, yeah, these Kenku, like, as you're kind of, like, thinking you're all sneaky as you, like, kind of ninja your way up behind them as they're walking in their like, line of 13 of them, they just kind of hear, like, thud, 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 as you kind of, like, sneak up behind it, or sneak, quote-unquote, up behind them, and they just kind of turn and they're like, help? Help
Oh my
you?
gosh, that's great.
At this point, can I just try to roll
Just try to roll what?
for sleight of hand for the?
There are
Well,
13.
while they're looking
There are
at 'em,
13 of you, them looking at you. They are holding the quarterstaffs in their hands, and you have been spotted. But yes, you
Oh,
can
they
try
get-
it if you'd like.
Okay. Well, crap.
You can also just continue to act like you're just trying to have your conversation instead of trying to steal your phone.
I like to roll once more or persuasion to try to get them down.
Okay, are you gonna say anything different, or are you just gonna, like, what do you want to do? You can try to come at it from a different angle if you'd like. You can be like, hey, if our dude dies who has the key, then we can't do stuff. So
don't say things like that. You're going to encourage him.
I'm just trying to. Okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't give an ideas or something. I just have lots of ideas that I
You're
want
the
to.
DM. You shouldn't be giving the ideas.
You're right.
Um,
I will be silent.
I'll try to say, like, in order to help you, in order to go on this quest to help the gods, I need as many people as I can.
Cactus says, mention me! In order to help the gods, we need as many people what?
As we can have to help us on that quest.
The Kenku kind of, like, face palms and then gestures his arm at the orcs, like, yo, you are killing your reinforcements here.
What?
He's saying, if you want as many people as possible to help you with, like, helping the gods, why are you killing these orcs?
Because the orcs are our enemies.
The Kenku kind of shakes his head and is just like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot. But if you would like, we can roll persuasion again.
Oh, I'd like to roll persuasion.
Okay, go for it.
Freaking why?
What? Did you not won?
It's a 10.
Yeah, they are not convinced. They're just like, you help gods. You help all.
I just walk back to where they touch me.
These poor birds are just like, why? Why do we deal with these people? They just keep walking.
I'll walk and then I'll stop and turn my head and say, "Don't expect my help on this quest or anything else." And then continue on.
On anything ever again? Wow.
I'm done.
5,000% done.
5,000%.
So, are we to him yet?
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and fast forward to the point where Dravis walks back to you guys and you guys walk up to him. You are probably about 20 feet from where the battle is occurring, so there's like lots of loud crashes and screaming and like nonsense going on, but you're still able to talk if you want to just chill casually.
Chill casually in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, just like set up a table and like drink some tea or something.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Travis.
Yes.
Guy dude here wishes for us to go to the mountain and take care of this quest given to us. What do you think we should do?
Good luck with that. I am not be any part of that.
I noticed that. Oh, go ahead, guy dude.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Why aren't you coming on the quest?
Because I have had it up to here. I will not help them in anything ever in my life.
Oh, okay.
Well, what were you doing with the Kinku over there?
I was trying to persuade them to help us fight against the orcs, and then hope by persuading them to help, then they would understand that we would help them on. They just are too feeble-minded to understand it.
Oof.
Well, perhaps Guy Dude can do something. After all, they seem to favor him.
If he wants,
not
that's on
wrong.
him.
What'd you
Guy
say?
Dude can do as he pleases. If he wants to go and ask them for help, so be it.
You're cutting out a lot, Shrooms.
If Guy Dude wishes to ask them for help, then
So be it. Gotcha.
Then.
What'd you say?
Right then.
Are you going to do
Wasn't a
it?
character, that was just
Oh, okay.
off the cuff.
Well, I'll rush up to the Kenku and I say, "Hold on!"
Alright, they kind of stop and they're just like, what? They turn around again.
So wait, can I stop for a second? Are we still fighting the orcs, or what's going on with that?
The humans are still fighting the orcs. They're struggling all the way because they don't have their brave heroes now. You haven't really asked to take a perception, or like they're still fighting. You can see them fighting, struggling back and forth. Sometimes they're winning, sometimes they're losing. Lots of people are dying. The general's still doing his brave, good work. Orcs are still
I
kind
just
of.
wanted to know because like it seemed like we just.
I mean, yeah, you're just kind of ignoring your buds.
Abandoned the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what has happened.
You just casually taking a stroll while there's like a battle and people dying in the background.
My friend Guy Dude wishes to speak to you.
Yep.
Yes.
Here I go. Oh, I can clearly see there's no sense in this violence, and you clearly have the power to put a stop to it. So why don't you?
You know.
I know what.
He points his arm back at the fight, and he's like, he kind of shrugs, like, you didn't stop the first time.
I know the orcs and humans need to come together and settle their differences, but I don't know how to accomplish this now that disorder has returned to this battlefield.
You're a paladin, right? Okay, let me. Do paladins cast spells? I don't even know this about Dungeons and Dragons.
I have no spellcrafting ability. That I have one level of spell casting, but
one
The
level.
only abilities he has is Divine Sense and Lay on Hands.
yeah.
Okay. I am. You know, why not? All right. So this Kenku is gonna kind of like reach out to your to touch your head. Are you gonna be okay with this?
Yes.
All right. So this Kenku kind of like lays a hand on your head, and then you feel like a weird sensation come over you, and you're like, whoa, kind of like that feeling when you like step into a warm shower and you get like a like instead of a chill up your spine, it's like a warm up your spine or something. And then you suddenly feel like you have a new ability or something. You can now cast the cantrip Minor Illusion.
Minor illusion.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
a spell. It's a cantrip, which means you can activate it basically whenever you want to. It doesn't take up a spell slot. And Minor Illusion, you can look it up if you would like. It's basically allows you to like create minor like tricks and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Not sure what to do with this, but I'm gonna just.
Well,
I'm just
if you read the yeah, basically you can create any image or like kind of like moving picture animated object or something within a 5-foot cube. So like you can make a illusion of like a person or something, or you can make like anything that like would appear within a 5-foot cube as long as it can fit. And but if people kind of like study it, they can roll against it to see if they can distinguish whether or not it's an illusion or not, and then they can tell. And like it doesn't actually affect the world. You can just walk through it and that kind of thing. But it does appear there, and it looks like it's real if they're not realizing that it's an illusion. And it can also be used to create like a loud or like a sound, anything you can imagine. So like it could be a loud gunshot, or it could be like a small whisper. And yeah, so any sound you can imagine. And I think there's some restrictions on range and stuff as well. But yeah, basically you're just allowed to kind of make minor tricks and stuff appear now if you'd like.
Okay. I guess I just intuitively know all this, that this has happened.
Yeah, you've been given this spell, so you're like suddenly you kind of know what this is, and you can try testing it out if you'd like.
Okay. I guess I'll cast it. I don't know.
Okay, what would you like to cast it to do?
Cast it to do. That's the thing. I'll probably ask the guys around me what to do. guys, I felt like I just got this this new ability. Like, I can make minor illusions. What should I do with it?
The Kenku kind of points at
I
the
don't know
battle.
how to. Obviously, I should use it in some way in the battle, but I should just make all the humans. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I don't get how this works.
I think I do. I think I know how it works.
How do it?
Can I tell him?
Ask you in character. I don't know how it works at all.
Can I tell him how it works, CJ, or should that just be secret?
What are you saying? Well, I mean, if he asked you in character, hey, I feel like I can do minor illusions now. What should I do with that? So, if you want to respond in character, go for it.
Oh, I didn't hear that because it cut out. I believe you can use that to scare away the orcs.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a try. Wait, it's a 5 foot by 5 foot cube.
Yeah, 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot. So as long as
Well,
whatever
the
you
orcs
create.
must be scared of something.
You would know them better than anyone.
Can I
Since we're both
roll?
off on this island.
Can I roll intelligence to see if I remember what the orcs are afraid of?
I mean, there's not really like a particular thing that all orcs are scared of or anything. They're just like normal, complicated creatures like you. So like, if some humans are afraid of heights, some humans are afraid of other things. This is not like a mindless beast. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead and roll. You can see if you can think.
Not
of
20.
Okay, well, you can think that maybe maybe they would be frightened if they saw the Kenkus again. Something.
Okay.
Perhaps make a few Kinku illusions. See if they'll.
You're only allowed to cast one at a time, and you can't like do the sound thing while also making an image thing. You have to like have one active at a time, unfortunately.
Well, make a Kinku to summon or something like that. I don't know how that spell works. I'm just a paladin.
Okay. I guess I'll give that a shot. I'll cast that now.
Okay.
Kenku right in the middle of the armies.
Right in the middle of the armies. Okay. So if an object passes through the illusion, then they can tell that it's an illusion, and
Gotcha. So I guess I put it behind the human army then.
okay. What's the range on minor illusion? Are you looking at the page for it?
I'll look real quick.
No way to find this information.
Because you guys are like 50 or 60, no, maybe even 80 feet away from the battle now.
30.
30 feet, yeah. So you would need to move if you wanted to do something like that.
Okay, I'd move closer to that.
All right. So while you're moving, like the humans are being beaten kind of badly at this point. The orcs have managed to kill like a good half of the humans that were there. The ones that are with the general are still doing. They're still fighting valiantly and doing okay, but the orcs now outnumber the humans probably about 3 to 1 in all. So they're kind of losing.
So
Killing the general didn't cause any disorder in the ranks.
It did. It's just they're all angry and they weren't really listening. They didn't notice because like the commander was in the back ranks and they were all ahead of him, so they didn't see your miracle shot.
They heard him.
They heard a yelp, but that's it.
Crap.
Okay.
And keep in mind, you can do sounds as well if you'd like. So you could do like a sound and then an illusion or something, or the other way around.
I can do that.
Yeah, they just can't be active at the same time.
Sound. That says. To figure it out. I don't know what it would say.
You're trying to make it say something?
A sound, or make it say something, or maybe just really loud, like boom of thunder. Let's try that one. Let's do that.
Okay, how loud?
extremely loud.
Okay. So
How
like
to rank that.
almost ear bleedingly loud. All right.
Like a metal concert. Right in front of the amplifier.
All right.
Metal concert.
Roll me intimidation.
Oh, cool. Give me a sec.
Cactus says, just imagine a cactus / octopus charging at you. That is scary. Make a 5-foot me. Do it, do it. Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's a 5 I rolled there.
A 5 total? You said that's a 5 total for the illusion, or for the intimidation check? Ouch. Okay. Yeah, that's not very scary. So, as they're, the orcs and the humans are fighting with, like, clashing swords and roar, 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 suddenly there's this loud boom! And everyone kind of, like, jumps and, like, is like, whoa, what? Okay, whoa, that was spooky, but okay, we're still fighting in a battle, okay. And they don't really react too much. They just kind of get spooked and they're like, whoa, hey. But they don't stop fighting.
Okay.
Or at least for very long.
Then I'm going to image of whatever those things were called.
The Kenku?
Behind the human lines in front of the orcs. Since that looks proportional to it. So it looks like it's a real one.
Okay. Where are you going to place this? Like, I mean, I know it's behind enemy lines, or behind the human lines. But is it going to be like in the middle? Is it like on top of the pile of rocks? Is it like
well, I guess you could put it on top of in terms of in place of the orc lines.
In place of the orc lines?
Where is it in relation to the orc lines, I should say?
Where's the pile of rocks?
Yes.
Let me pull out the GIMP again.
I really just want to put it in the place that's the most visible to their army, wherever that is.
Okay. In my opinion, that would be, like on top of the rocks, I guess. Let me just try to...
I'll put it wherever it's most visible. So on top of the...
The way I'm imagining this is like, here's the humans, here's the orc army. They've kind of like curved around at this point. They've kind of defeated a bunch of the guys that were over here. So now the humans are kind of like pinched in a little bit. The pile of rocks is over here. You guys are over here, so your range is 30 feet, so that's maybe like that far at this point.
Okay.
So I guess maybe over here would be better, but for visibility, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. However, it would be there's not really something on top of which to put it over here. Unless, actually, there are the mountain range over here. Like, you're kind of close to the mountains, so maybe something up there. But then,
can I make the image float?
Yeah, you can make it wherever you want to within 30 feet of you.
I float it right above the human army, or like right behind the human army.
All right, that works. Okay.
So that it's up in the air and in a place where they can all see it.
Okay. So it's just gonna look like a standard Kenku?
Standard Kenku. Well, it's gonna look like whoever was talking, and he's reaching out his hand and pointing at the orcs and raising his staff.
Okie doke. Roll me intimidation again.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello. What do you want me to roll?
Intimidation again.
Intimidation again. It's a 6 this time. Yay.
All right, that's that. Okay. So as you cast this illusion, you see a Kenku like kind of appear above the human army, just kind of like T-posing up there, just like floating there, and it's just kind of not very convincing, and the orcs kind of look up at it and they're like, whoa, what is that? Suddenly it starts glowing, like emitting light or something, and then it assumes the pose that you wanted it to assume, and you hear the thunder once more, just like a loud boom, and the orcs kind of like step back and they're like, whoa, hey, oh, okay, there's a flying, glowing Kenku up there now, okay, hey, whoa. And the Kenku, like or like the floating illusion begins like kind of like raising his arms, looking like it's preparing for a spell, and the orcs begin to like back up, and like their line falters and they start to like back up and scatter, like getting the heck out. Roll me perception real quick. Okay. All three of you.
All three of us.
Perception?
Yeah, perception.
Apparently I'm blind.
A 2.
2.
Well, apparently I'm not blind as this guy is. I got a 6.
I got a 10.
You guys are terrible at this. All right. All right. So yeah. That's it. So you see the illusion just like being awesome and like blasting glory or whatever, and freaking the orcs out, even though he rolled a 6, which is odd. Anyway, so yeah, then the orcs kind of like freak out and their line falters, and the humans like kind of the General Kisto kind of goes, stop, and to his men, and the men kind of like hold their ground and like hold up their shields, and the Kenku illusion above them is still like being really menacing or whatever, and the orcs just kind of like they back off and they're like, all right, we'll stop, and they kind of like begin dispersing with the Kenku like hovering above them, and the fighting kind of subsides as the orcs like one by one kind of begin scattering, and they run off back to their encampment. And the battle has come to an end. Once all the orcs have kind of like run out of range, the illusion kind of vanishes and dissolves back into nothing. What you guys gonna do now?
Where am I again? I don't even know where I am anymore.
This is where the orcs were. This is where you guys were. This is the rock pile. Okay. So the orcs have all kind of like, ooh, getting the heck out. They all went like up-ish. So the humans are kind of like just now relaxing, I guess, a little bit. Relaxing is realistic.
I walk up to my lizard friend.
Lizard friend.
And I say, "Good job, lizard friend."
Dragonborn. But thank you.
Jarvis, what's your percentage level? Sorry, what'd you say? We should what?
I was gonna say, I guess we should go talk to the general about all that went down here.
Probably a good plan.
Perhaps, but I feel like I'm going to be marshaled now.
Grayson Bean says, "Is your sister going live?" I don't know. I've been in here for a while. I don't know if she's going live. Probably, hopefully. I don't know. Cactus says, "Well, that's some art and a half." Yeah, thanks, Cactus. My art is beautiful.
My art is beautiful.
Alright.
Okay, so I follow my Dragonborn friend.
So you guys kind of walk back up to the army, and who's like kind of beat up and bruised, and they're like, many of them are injured, and they're kind of like, oh my gosh, that was rough. Oh my, and they're kind of like mumbling to each other and like relieved that they're not dead, but they're definitely not in good shape. And you guys kind of force your way through the crowd up to the general, who's like trying to console his soldiers. The general sees you coming and he's like, Jubby, why?
Sir, I was only doing what I thought was right.
This was a fight that we couldn't win, Jubby. I appreciate your heroism, but who are we to stand against the forces of the gods?
As far as we know, the gods aren't hurt.
Well, the Kenku have always been wise in the past, as has the shaman on the mountain. Why would we have any reason to doubt him now?
Do I know about what the shaman did? What Malik made the shaman do?
You do not. You have been
okay.
in the capital the whole time. And you haven't even been back there since the whole eruption.
Right.
Who is this shaman, and what does he have to do with it?
You want to explain?
Question. It's an in-character question to the general.
Oh, to the general.
Because I would have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
I was not on the island.
Gotcha. Oh, I forgot you're a Newlander. So those Kenku they live in a temple not far from here. They are servants of the Earth God. They commune with the Earth gods and try to perform their will. They usually keep to themselves and usually don't interact or speak to humans. It's rare for them to come out. It seems that the orcs didn't even know of their existence, or if they once did, they have forgotten over the many years that it's been since the orcs have been in this area. And the shaman, of course, is the goblin, is basically the voodoo witch doctor of this island. He is a second keeper of the gods. He guards the gates of Veritas in the mountain of Veridad. And he helps both the orcs and the humans because he is in the center of the island, but living in the mountain between the two kingdoms. One is the kingdom and one is the empire. I'm not sure how much of this you know and how much of this you don't, so I'm apologizing if this is unclear to you. I'm sure Jebby can explain more if you require.
I only know as much as you do, General.
True enough, I suppose. Well, the shaman is the second, is a keeper of the earth gods, just as the Kenku are. So if the Kenku are requesting that we not fight, I suppose we have little way to resist them. However, it's unfortunate that the orcs are no longer listening to them anymore, and he gives a side eye at Jebby.
I wholeheartedly agree. You mentioned the shaman keeps a gate.
Yes. What did you
Does
say?
this gate have a key?
I am not sure. I have never seen the gates opened myself.
Where do they lead to? Do you know?
I do not know. I think it leads to the land of the gods? I am not sure. I have not really inquired. All I know is that we pray to the gods and we make sacrifices to them, and only the shaman has access to those gates.
And what were these things called again?
The Kenku.
I want to call them kaiju, but that's not right. Kenku. When the Kenku, speaking, their leader gave me a key. Could this perhaps be to that gate?
I don't know. I know that the gates are golden. I've been in there. I've been to the mountain on a pilgrimage once or twice, and I've seen the gates. So it's possible.
Right.
But
We
why
should
would
head that.
why would the Kenku have that key, and why would they give it to you?
I don't know. They seem to be swayed by my holy symbol.
Ah, yes. What is that holy symbol? Does it mean anything?
100% sure what it means.
Is that out of character or in character?
Character. Anyway. I just found it.
I'm a paladin because I found it. Sorry.
I was looking for a god to serve as a paladin, and I suppose whoever this symbol was that I found on the way to the ship would be that god for me. So
Well,
I'm not
that's
sure what it means.
But I have no clue which god I'm
yeah. I'm serving a god. I don't know which one, but I'm serving something.
It's like later he finds
Precisely.
out he's serving the god of war and destruction.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The general's just gonna kind of give you a funny look and be like, "That's admirable, I guess." Well, is there any way we can help you? I'm not sure what the Kenku wanted of you with that key.
They wanted us to take it to the mountain and
Did they say
somehow
that?
help them.
I didn't hear that.
I don't recall
Huh.
exactly what they said. I can't remember.
Well, I was farther away from you. I suppose do what you think is right.
All right.
Perhaps it would be good to attempt to convince the orcs to not attack us again. I don't think we could survive another devastating attack like that. If you are chosen by the Kenku, perhaps they would be more willing to listen to you. And since you're not human, and again, he looks over at Jebby, perhaps they would be more willing to listen to one of your kind than one of ours.
I bubble under my breath, something inconceivable.
I suppose you're right. I guess I shall go to them now.
Cactus says, you say the gods, but do they worship the same gods as you? I think that's...
Funny thing is, Jebby doesn't worship the same gods.
What does he worship?
He worships the god of revelations.
Oh. That's interesting. Considering the Eye of Truth thing, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
It's up to you guys.
Guess we're going to go find them orcs.
Alright. So what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna, like, just chase after the scattering orcs?
I don't think it's wise for me to show my face around the orcs, so I shall meet you at the Mount Veronad.
I agree. I think that would be quite unwise. Do the orcs have a village anywhere near here?
Is that to the general?
Where's the nearest? Yes. Where's the nearest orc village? Anyone on the island could answer, I suppose.
I do not know.
You'll have to go across the mountain. I've heard stories that there is an orc oracle on the other side. Perhaps you can convince them, since they are religious.
I think that is smart. I shall go to the orc oracle and see if I can convince them to convince their people.
Wait, are you still with the general at this point, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So, as you're talking about, like, where's the nearest orc village or whatever, the general can kind of, like, pull out a map from a pouch on his belt, and you guys can see it on the share screen now. This is the map that he shows you.
About time.
Yeah, I was looking for I was trying to get you guys to, like, investigate the tent of, like, earlier, but whatever. So now you see a map finally. So this is the map that the general gives to you. It is, I can send it to you guys later if you want, so you can study it more. But this is obviously I'm terrible at drawing maps, so don't take it too seriously, or like take it to be as like 100% unbreakable truth. And also, this is drawn from the humans' perspective, so like only the humans only know about their side of the island, kind of, and they have limited tools for like cartography or whatever. So this is their best guess of their half of the island. This is like just based on sailing a ship kind of near the island without getting attacked by orcs. So they don't really know what they're looking at on this side. This is just kind of, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving, but they don't, this is like very guesswork over here, but they kind of know this area more. So this is the capital that you got, or that Jebby was at earlier. I guess you never were there, Mac. But this is the capital city. This is a fishing town. All these little circles are different towns, but I didn't get a chance to label them. This is the church town that you guys were at earlier, where you first met Jebby. And this area-ish is where you guys are now. You've crossed over to this area, and this is where the battle was going on. This is where the old defenses were against the like the orcs, like this is where the humans had kept the orcs back for like a couple hundred years, and it was recently like they lost their defenses within the past couple days, and then they like scrambled to make a new defensive line like over here-ish. So this is where you guys have been battling basically.
Jeez, that's a lot of land they lost.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean the scale is kind of wonky, but yeah. And this is north, this is east, this is south, this is west. And yeah, so there's really little detail over here because they don't know what they're talking about. So there might be some orcs.
I point at the question mark. General, do you know what that is?
I don't know. This is a very old map, and it's very outdated, I'm sure. But I think that there once was a legend that the orcs had taken, well, I suppose 300 years ago-ish, the orcs took this side of they surpassed the mountain range and came over to our side in an unexpected, brutal attack, and they took over the Pool of Wisdom, which was a human sanctum for quite some time, a very important artifact to us. So they took over that, but their legend has it that there was also something on the orc side that was important as well, some sort of magical place for
perhaps that's something. The oracle my grandmother used to tell me about.
Perhaps. I'm not sure what this oracle is, but I mean, there might be something worth investigating over there, and that's why the humans are desperate to push back the orcs, back at least to regain our side of the mountain range and regain our heritage. But the orcs apparently have one as well, and that might be why they decided to come over and invade in the first place. I forget.
Do I want to know... I mean, do I know what the pool is all about? Our side.
The Pool of Wisdom?
Yeah.
No. This information, like, is basically just kind of left as, like, legends and stories and, like, the old maps. So, like, they know there's something here, but they don't know exactly what it is or what it looks like.
Well, perhaps, my lizard friend, you can stop by this pool.
Cactus says, is his grandma really trustworthy, though? That's true, she does hate orcs.
Perhaps, my lizard friend, you could stop by this pool of wisdom and see what it's all about, since our ancient knowledge has been lost over the years.
Suppose that's an intelligent place to start.
Right. Whoosh.
And what about you, Dravis? What do you think in all this?
Still 5,000% done with everything. Dinner time is more like breakfast time. As you're talking, the first rays of sunlight start to like peek over the horizon and hit you guys in the face. Again!
Oh right, I forgot that we were in the middle of the night here. Forgot all this happened like
yeah. Wow.
Perhaps we should rest.
So, did Dravis answer me?
Yeah, I said I think it's dinner time.
Oh. Well, I'm going to head towards Mount Verdad. Where do you think you're going to go, Dravis?
Here. And eat.
You're just going to stay here. You're not going to go with either of us. Or on your own.
I want no part of the Tenkus or...
No part of the Kenkus or the what?
Or their plan.
Okay.
Perhaps it is wise if we all take some time to rest, since we did not get a full rest.
Well, I feel rested well enough.
You still have like your calf kind of like bleeding through your bandage.
It's like I don't really notice it, and my face is blanched white right now.
Well, I would definitely recommend that you guys take a rest, and maybe we can call it quits for the night. But that was... we can like pick it up next session and see what everyone's gonna do, because I mean, splitting the party into 3 groups might be a bit rough, but alright, we can do that. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, so just to make things easier on you so we can end it, my guy, even though he doesn't feel the pain because of all the what's that called when someone's
adrenaline
excited?
Rush?
Yeah, adrenaline rush. His face is blanched white, and as he say, "I feel fine." He
Oh.
just passes out right there.
Are you saying that he like slams down with his like just flat like face?
Yeah, he just face plants flat on the ground in the middle of his sentence. I feel fine.
I think I'm gonna make you take a couple damage for that because you're bashing your face at like full speed into the ground without any protection.
How much?
Probably about like 1 or 2 damage. I don't know what's fair. Let's just say 1.
All right.
I mean, you're gonna take a rest and get healed anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So by the way, I'm not particularly like looking to end it or anything, but I just figured that we should end it because like probably people need to go do stuff.
Anyways, here's
Okay,
some
cool.
dinner.
So yeah, how about we have you three like regroup with your other buddies. Strangely you can't find Banana anywhere. Maybe she was busy eating tents or something. But Banana is nowhere to be seen. But you find Glompario. He's been injured a little bit in battle, but he kind of eats some food and feels like he's doing better. And who else do we have? I forgot the last person that we have. Oh yeah, Hawk. Hawk is also nowhere to be seen because he's just invisible. Maybe he is here, maybe he's not. You don't know. And wait, who's the other last person? Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, okay. So Banana and Frodo Beggins are both nowhere to be seen. And Glompario is just hanging out with you guys, eating food. And you all take a bit of a rest. I'm just gonna say you take a long rest because you didn't really get a very good rest. And we'll pick it up from there next time.
All right.
Yeet. What'd you guys think?
Lot of
Oh,
that.
well.
You took the fun away. I wanted to fight more.
You were going to lose, probably. I mean, you might have won, but it would have been hard.
My rolls now.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of bad rolls today.
But we also had a couple of good rolls too.
That's true.
We shot the guy in half.
Yeah, and the miracle shot.
Oh yeah.
Do you got any more magical theories there, Ray? Like, remember how you were theorizing in the past as Malik?
Oh, I can't theorize as Malik because he's dead.
Well, yeah, but like you were theorizing back in the days of Malik. Got any ideas about like what the nature of the world is and stuff?
Well, if I'm going to be brutally honest, I still don't think it's a god. I think it's just a creature that people believe is a god because realistically, a god wouldn't be affected by mundane things like that. Being sick. I'm really curious if you're going to bring back the dragon with its full fury.
Oh my gosh.
It's like it comes out fully grown and it's about to destroy the world.
Oh my gosh. It's not out of the question, but probably not.
Aw.
Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks everyone for coming out. God bless, and I'll see you guys all later. But we can keep talking, by the way. See ya.